Mechanicsburg Wildcat football, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube. Available on all smart devices. Wildcat football live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Now, let's check in with Ben Shad for this week's edition of Foundation Facts with the Wildcat Foundation.
Hello, Wildcat fans, and thanks for tuning in for this varsity contest on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. Tonight's broadcast is presented by 11 Oaks Farm in Newville. We'll get you out to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in just a bit, but right now it's time for our pregame segment. Pregame, as always, presented by the Wildcat Foundation, and this is Foundation Facts. And today I'm joined by Gareth Pahalka. Gareth, welcome.
Thank you, Ben. Good to be here.
So, Gareth, go ahead and give us your background, your connection to the area and the district.
Yeah, so I've lived in the district with my family for about 15 years. Have 2 elementary boys in the district. We've had a wonderful experience in Mechanicsburg, and about 5 years ago, I guess, I joined the Wildcat Foundation board and have served on that board since then. Great group of people, and it's really been fun to get to know the foundation and all the ways they support the programs and the mission of our school district.
So go ahead and give us a little bit of your background from the beginning. How exactly did you get involved with the foundation, and then to the point where you became a board member?
Yeah, so I work in a professional capacity. I work with the school district as a client of our firm, plus I'm, as I said, a resident of the district. So I knew some of the individuals connected to the foundation board, and they were looking to fill some openings in 2020, I guess it was. And so given some prior interactions I had with them, and I was interested in helping out with the foundation and learning more about what they do. So I agreed to hop on the board. I think this will be my last year on the board here in 2026. And one of the things in particular I've really enjoyed doing is working on the board's, the foundation's scholarship program that they do annually for high school seniors. That's really been fun to help out with that effort.
And give us kind of the timeline, or the projection, if you will, from when you started 6 years ago to now, how much the foundation has grown in, not only in size and maybe relevance to the district, but also just like the outreach that has been able, that, you know, all the different areas you have overseen, and the dollars and everything that you've seen from when you started to where we're at today.
Yeah, so foundation is really healthy. It's strong. We have about 20, give or take, board members. One of the big things that's happened in my time on the board is we hired Jeff Pratt, who is a full-time executive director. A lot of school districts don't have any staff on a foundation. We're very lucky to have a director and a full-time executive director. So that was, that was a big deal when we did that. We were really fortunate to find Jeff, and he's been amazing for the foundation. So with his leadership and all of our board members, we continue to steadily grow in terms of grants we provide to teachers and programs, scholarships, as I mentioned. We have several longstanding fundraising events throughout the year. They remain very strong. And I think the foundation's now over 25 years old, and really just a wonderful asset to the Mechanicsburg School District and our students and families.
And when you look back, is there any one particular project that you're fond of, one particular program that maybe you helped implement that really stands out to you? Or is it really just the whole overarching mission that you're proud to contribute to?
Yeah, it's all of that. In particular, though, I've been really involved in our scholarship program. Last year, the foundation awarded about $40,000 in scholarships to high school seniors. We have I believe we have five scholarships we award annually. Um, and last year, as I said, eight graduating seniors received in total about $40,000, which is amazing. Those applications open up in March of every year. We have a committee on the board that scores the applications, and then they are awarded at the senior awards ceremony in May. The foundation raises money and gives it away, basically, and scholarships is a big part of that. So it's really rewarding to review applications from our seniors and identify, seniors to receive scholarship money to help them on their journey going off into higher ed. This last year, we awarded a new scholarship in memory of Janet Wentz, who was a high school English teacher in the 60s through the 80s, I believe, at the high school. She passed away in early in 2025, and her son, in her honor and her memory, gifted $150,000 to the foundation, which was amazing. So, in collaboration with the English department, we launched that new scholarship, as I said, just this last year. So it was great to see that get off the ground. That's the Janet B. Wentz English Award. So if there's any seniors out there listening, please look for this all to come out in March or so and consider applying for that or any other of the number of scholarships the foundation awards every year.
And our last question here, and speaking of shouting out to viewers, we present this all the time, and there might be some prospective people who think about getting involved, or maybe they want to step up to the board. Any advice for them now that you have served your full term?
Just reach out if you have any interest. You can contact Jeff Pratt. We do have a couple people rolling off the board this coming year, and we're always looking to keep a full board complement. We'd love to have you, even just talk with you about who we are and what we do. It's a great group of people, very diverse backgrounds, professions, and if you have any interest whatsoever, please reach out. We'd love to have you join our board. Even if you don't want to be a board member, there are other opportunities to get involved in some of our projects and committees and help out in any small way. I'd love to have you if you have any interest.
All righty. Well, Gareth, thank you so much, folks. This has been Foundation Facts presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Learn more about them online at wildcatfoundation.org. We're going to take a quick break and be right back after this.
For over 68 years, the Wilbur name has been impacting the Mechanicsburg community. I'm Jeff Wilbur, owner of Wilbur Plumbing, Heating and Air. We are a family-run business in the Mechanicsburg area.
Wilbur Plumbing and Heating and Air provides services within the home. We do HVAC, indoor air quality, water treatment, plumbing fixture replacement of all kinds. Pretty much life improvement things that we can focus on within the home.
When you call us, you're going to get a live voice, not a recording, and we will be here for you no matter what time you call. I'm Jeff Wilbur.
And I'm Josh Wilbur.
And you can count on our company.
Because you can count on us.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Is your property in need of a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
At Bobby Rahal, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision, that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Rahal simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Rahal difference and find out more at BobbyRahal.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. There was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Marianne at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
It's time for Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Here's head coach Dave Heckard and the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Garland.
It is time for Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner presented by our friends at the Wildcat Foundation. I'm joined, as always, by second-year head coach Dave Heckard. And, Coach, before we talk about tonight's second-round playoff matchup, let's look back to last week, the rematch against the Redland Patriots. Another victory for the Wildcats. And I guess I would say the score probably doesn't indicate what the game was really about because Redland got some scores late. But what are your thoughts overall on that Redland game?
Look, anytime you come out and play a team twice in one season, that's always a tough feat. I mean, they're going to make adjustments. You're going to try to make adjustments on their adjustments and try to figure things out. But, Redland, they were a stingy team all year, and they had a great season. And, we definitely showed up Friday night, and we were really pleased with our effort. So.
You came out of the gate early throwing the football. You had the early interception, but in some ways not a big deal because it set the pace for what the game was going to be all about. And you were able to put the ball in the air a couple of times, maybe more so than you have in other games. Great to see that Noah Apple still has that arm and the Jack DeLuca pocket can catch pretty much anything thrown his way.
Yeah, I mean, Jack's an outstanding wide receiver, and he doesn't have wide receiver numbers because we're such a run-heavy team, but he's, in my opinion, one of the best wide receivers in our division. So
you pulled out to, I believe it was 28-0 before Redland got on the board, and it was maybe third quarter before Redland started to get something going. Were you surprised at one point when they were down 4 scores and they came out still just running the ball?
We adjust to what they do. I don't know what's going on their sideline, and we just try to, like I said, stop what they're doing. It surprised me a little bit. I mean, they hit the air then late again and started trying to pass the ball, and obviously that fourth quarter felt like an eternity, but it was a good game, and like I said, our staff's really pleased with how the guys played on Fridays.
The game got a little chippy, and I don't know so much that it got chippy from the Wildcat standpoint, but certainly flags were flying, and I saw you animated maybe towards Colin Stair, but I think it was more so just coaching him to walk away from a situation. But what are you telling your young men when a game gets a little maybe emotionally charged?
No, I love it. So, my first inclination was when I looked at it, I thought the penalty was called on him, and I was trying to get his attention because I didn't want him to get thrown out. You're thrown out this game, you're out the next game, and that's no good. But he informed me quickly that it was on the other guy. So people lose control and people get angry and things start to get chippy. You got to remain poised, and I think that's what you try to do. But I think these are the young men out here, and sometimes it doesn't always go as planned, but I thought our guys did a pretty good job, walking away from that. I know our staff was on those guys about that as well. So
that play in question came on the back of a Noah Apple 71-yard touchdown run. The kid's got some jets. He can go, right?
Oh, he got those long strides. He's one of those guys that looks like he's gliding, but he's fast. So
speaking of another fast kid, Reese Miller, well over 1,000 yards, and if I am to believe the numbers that I've seen, or at least the numbers that I remember, I think he actually has more yards than what Isaac had last year. And it's crazy to think about, the high-powered offense that you had last year, and yet some of the numbers statistically outshined last year's team. What are your thoughts on that?
A lot of that really, I can't take anything away from Reese and the job that these guys have done, this year. But, in last year's games, a lot of our guys didn't have the numbers because they were out by halftime. So, right. There's reasons for that. But, just for Reese to be compared to an Isaac Dolman is an honor. And, Reese has done a great job this year toting the rock. So
defensively for your team, and we'll talk a little bit more about it coming up with Bishop McDevitt, but the fact that Colin Stair and Drake Dawson seem to live in the backfield of your opponents, that's got to be that intangible going into every game that you can just count on.
Yeah, those two have had a great senior year, and really just make it very difficult for offenses, up front. But hopefully this week, they do the same thing here tonight, and can hold strong against a good McDevitt team. So.
Well, Redland's certainly a formidable foe, and probably even more challenging the fact that you were playing a team for the second time in the season, correct?
Yeah. That's always a challenge. So.
Anything else you want to add on that game?
Oh no, it was a good game, and we're really proud of the guys, and to get a playoff win here 2 years in a row. That's great. So
yeah, and I know you're quick to deflect, right? But you're still the leader of these young men. You and your coaching staff, back-to-back years with playoff victories. I'm not sure there's been a Mechanicsburg team in recent memory that's been able to stake claim to that.
Yeah,
so how do you feel about that?
No, I was told the other day by somebody that that's the first time that ever happened, which is kind of crazy to me.
Right.
Think about the '80s and some of the good teams they've had in the past. But that being said, that's where we want to be, and we're happy with that, and we want to keep going. So.
All right, Coach, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about tonight's opponent, the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders. We'll be right back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
ECI Construction is pleased to be the sponsor of Wildcat Athletics. Teamwork is essential to success, and ECI has been proud to team with the Mechanicsburg School District for many of its facility upgrades, additions, and improvements. ECI also specializes in smaller private projects. If your business, church, or commercial property is planning an addition or renovation of any size, call ECI today for a winning project at 717-638-3000. Learn more at eciconstruction.us and go Wildcats.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn,
which attracted golfers.
Morning.
Who needs a warm-up?
And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner, presented by our friends at the Wildcat Foundation. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. And coming up here during pregame, we will take a look at our weekly Wildcat scoreboard. Of course, field hockey with a state playoff game tomorrow. And we'll look back at some of our other fall sports and their postseason success. But we look ahead to, well, let's say just a few minutes from now, when the Wildcat football team will take the field here at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium. and the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders. Coach, it's a brand that you are familiar with going back to the 90s and your Cumberland Valley days, and you are even more familiar with after last year's 26-13 third-round playoff loss. First of all, general thoughts on Bishop McDevitt going into this one?
Oh, McDevitt's a very talented team, and they're a good football team. They won a state title a year ago, and we know what's ahead of us. So, they're always in it, and they're a good team.
When you watch game film, what kind of film do you look at? Do you look at their first 2 losses of the year? Do you look at their last 8 wins, or is it a little bit of both?
So we try to look at the past couple of weeks of things they've been doing and who they have in. Personnel matters. Somebody that might have been injured at the beginning of the year could be back now, or vice versa, right? So we try to look at films. They had a good film with State College. They had a pretty good game there, and that was a good film to look at. And they're a good team, and there's a lot of talent there, and we're going to have our hands full, but I think we're up for the challenge. So.
Well, and you talk about the film against State College. That was a game that Dave Harris and I were following during the Shippensburg game in Week 10, and I think special teams was a big part of that. You had a couple of special teams gaffes throughout the year, not many, but in a game like this against Bishop McDevitt, one could be the backbreaker. So have you focused on anything special with special teams this week? Yeah,
we've talked and planned, and we've changed some personnel in different spots, but that being said, that's a third of the game, and we're going to do what we can do there, and hopefully get an advantage.
So we talked about this a little bit during the first half of Coach's Corner, but the defense, the numbers that your defense has put up through now 11 games this year, tackles for loss, the few yards that you've allowed cumulatively over the season. How do you feel your defense matches up with the run and pass game of Bishop McDevitt?
Look, defense wins big games, right? And we're confident with our defense, and the opponent we face tonight, they're a little different than what we've seen all year. So. I just think that we have to hold on at the beginning of the game, weather the storm a little bit, adjust to their speed and what they do. And, I feel like last year at the beginning of the game, some things kind of got out of hand a little bit and we made some mistakes. But, I'm hoping this year with the familiarity from last year, knowing what to expect, we can kind of weather that storm a little bit and get into the meat of the game.
And the exciting thing is you have a handful of young men, your leaders this year, that were part of last year's game. Have you had a chance, either as a group or individually, to talk to those kids to get their mindset?
Yeah, we just talked about it today. The last year's game, and our team and their team is different from this year than they were last year, and and like I said, I use that as a reminder that at the end of last year's game, we were in that game, and we made some mistakes and shot ourselves in the foot at different points, but I want them to understand that they were in that game, and we just didn't make breaks. So. This year we want to be in the game and hopefully get an advantage here at the end. So. And looking at what McDevitt brings to the table, their statistical leaders, those young men were kids that played for the most part in last year's game. Obviously a new quarterback with Stone Saunders going on to Kentucky, but there are a lot of familiar faces that you're going to line up across in the second round playoff game. Yeah, they have a lot of guys back. Offensively, in my opinion, one of the best athletes in the state right now is the Davis Jones kid. So, he's a good running back, and we're going to be challenged to stop him. So, well, the exciting part about your defense facing a good running back is they have risen to the occasion all year, and I hope that trend continues here in Week 12. Coach, anything else you want to add? No, it's a great season so far, and hopefully we can keep it going here tonight. All right, he is head coach Dave Heckert. We're going to take a break, come back. Pregame will continue from Rocco Ortenzio Stadium on the campus of Bishop McDevitt High School. Right back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
You've been watching Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Coming up, we'll get you out to the stadium for tonight's game live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision, that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at BobbyRayHall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. There was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ben Shad, and it's time for our weekly Wildcat scoreboard presented by Operation Wildcat. Tonight, Friday, November 7th, football plays against Bishop McDevitt in the second round of the District 3 5A playoffs, with kickoff set in just a little bit at 7 p.m. On Saturday, November 8th, field hockey travels to play against Villa Maria in the second round of the state tournament at Exeter Township, face-off scheduled for 2 p.m. On Tuesday, November 11th, should field hockey advance, they would play against either Avongrove or Emmaus in the state semifinals at a time and location to be determined. And Friday, November 14th, football would play against either Conestoga Valley or Exeter Township in the district semifinals if they manage to advance for that one. Kickoff set at 7 p.m. We also want to congratulate all of our fall sports teams and athletes for all of their hard work and dedication on the field and off. Once again, folks, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to Wildcat Athletics on X/Twitter and on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. You can also visit mbgsd.org and click on the Athletics tab or download the new district app for the latest Wildcat news and information. We'll be right back after this.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pins, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming on South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. Go to mbgsd.org or download the new district app and navigate to the Athletics tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support and encourage you to support them as well.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn,
which attracted golfers.
Morning. Who needs a warm-up? And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at truegreen.com.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
It's time for Mechanicsburg Wildcat Football, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube. Available on all smart devices. Wildcat Football, live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg, is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, Your Neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, Your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Now, let's head out to the stadium and the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth for tonight's game.
With the call, here's the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Garland and Dave Harris.
And good evening, football fans. Thanks for tuning in live on Go Mechanicsburg. I am Mike Garland, joined by my tag team partner, Dave Harris. We are at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium on the campus of Bishop McDevitt High School for the second round of the PIAA District 3 Class 5A playoffs. And it's all of a sudden a familiar foe, Dave, a team that the Wildcats faced last year in the third round. The number 3 seed Bishop McDevitt Crusaders, coached by the legendary Jeff Wechter in his 28th season, 60-plus postseason wins, and nearly 300 wins overall as a coach. The brand speaks for itself. But as we saw last year, when these two teams come together, you can throw the records out because it seems to be a fairly even matchup.
Yeah, believe it or not, there's not a lot of on-field history between these two programs in terms of playing them with great frequency, but there are a lot of behind-the-scenes relationships and history going back to Fort Chapman's years when he was the head coach here and won the state championship. Certainly there was a relationship there between he and Coach Lichtel, and actually even before him, Coach Pat Barry was here as the head coach actually after Tim Rimfel went to Cumberland Valley, and eventually then Pat came over to Mechanicsburg and coached with Rich Lichtel. So there was a lot of history back in those days, and now even today there are 2 former Mechanicsburg coaches on the sideline for McDevitt. So great stuff happens on the field, as we said last season. As 2 of the better programs in the area, Crusaders have a couple state championships. They're in a different level of success than what we've been able to maintain as a program, but we're knocking on that door, and we're right here last year, and here we are again, Mike.
And what's at stake, obviously, is a berth into the next round of the District 3 5A postseason. The winner tonight will play either Exeter Township or Conestoga Valley. Exeter Township is the 7 seed, Conestoga Valley the 2 seed. They are playing tonight at Conestoga Valley, and they will kick off also coming up at 7 o'clock. So we'll try to update you on that score as the broadcast progresses. But what we have in front of us is a 10-1 Mechanicsburg Wildcat team, the number 6 seed in the bracket. They were 8-1 in Mid-Penn Keystone and the Keystone champions, facing the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders, the number 3 seed on the district bracket. They are 8-2. They went 8-1 in Mid-Penn Commonwealth. Harrisburg was one of those losses, so Harrisburg was the Commonwealth champ. Now, interestingly enough, the other Bishop McDevitt loss came in week 1. It was Clarkson North from Mississauga, Ontario. They made the trip south, and by all accounts, talking to Bishop McDevitt people, Clarkson North brought it to Bishop McDevitt, a very physical game, and it's given McDevitt an opportunity to rebound from those first 2 losses to rattle off 8 in a row and that first round bye.
Well, the reality is, for so many teams, you're trying to win every game. You want to win every game, and I'm sure McDevitt does too. But they're used to playing in November, and what matters to them is that they win their last game. And we were talking about this earlier, Mike. The only teams besides state champions who win their last game are teams who didn't make the playoffs, right? So I'm sure they scheduled that team not because they were looking for an easy victory. There's a lot of ways they could have done that. They scheduled that team because they want to be holding the crown at the end. And from the sounds of it, they got that challenge. And, of course, the next few weeks, starting with tonight, we'll play that out.
Well, and Bishop McDevitt, they lost that first game of the year 27-7, then 29-21 at Harrisburg, and rattling off 8 in a row, including a regular season finale 36-20 win over State College in a game where special teams was key for the Crusaders. About 200-plus yards in kickoff return yardage that night against the Little Lions. And for Mechanicsburg, I talked to head coach Dave Heckert during Coach's Corner about special teams, about kick coverage, because we know that over the years, every now and then, Mechanicsburg can be susceptible to giving up a big return.
Yeah, we talk a little bit about that, needing 33 guys or thereabouts, 35 guys on varsity, and that's what it comes back to, right? Who are you putting out there on those key special teams? And kickoff is a crucial one. I talk about it frequently. Usually, obviously, aside from the opening kickoff of the half, when you're kicking off, you've got momentum because it means you just scored, and that is a dagger of sorts when you then give up a big return or if you give up a score. So, yeah, it's a coach's worst nightmare. A head coach's worst nightmare is that kickoff. That's why you love touchbacks when you can get them, and you just you keep your fingers crossed that the guys you got out there are going to get the job done. And yeah, the Cats I think did get better as the season went on, but they did, as you said, they're susceptible to those big plays once in a while.
And I believe the Wildcat offense will be on the field first tonight as you see the Crusaders making their way onto the field here at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium, coming down the hill from their locker room, walking in front of the home crowd, and they are the Golden Domers to a T tonight. If you think you are watching Notre Dame football, well, close. The Catholic roots run deep here at Bishop McDevitt, and they are a spitting image of the Fighting Irish tonight as they head to the end zone to our left and get ready to run out to the sounds of Metallica's Enter Sandman. We'll take a quick look at our officiating crew for tonight. The second week in a row, we are looking at Lancaster-Lebanon League officials. Your referee is Ted Thompson. The umpire is Jonathan Horning. Linesman Randall Fields. The line judge, Cody Deal. Field judge, Ty Christman. The side judge is Wayne Hoffman. The back judge is Tim Watson. Again, Lancaster-Lebanon officials for tonight's game, Mechanicsburg and Bishop McDevitt. And we also want to take this opportunity to recognize some of our great postseason partners, including ECI Construction, Jeff Wilbur Plumbing and Heating, and also our friends at Bachman Roofing, including Dan Lewis, Mechanicsburg's all-time leading rusher. Dan's with Bachman Roofing, and he wants you to know that he's still proudly a member of Wildcat Nation and serving his hometown with Central Pennsylvania's all-time best roofing vendor, Bachman Roofing. With winter at our doorsteps, it's prime time to get your roof checked and keep your family warm, protected, and secure. So no more timeouts, Mechanicsburg. Call Dan today or visit bachmansroofing.com. Let's tackle your roofing questions together and score a great deal. One last thing. Go Wildcats. By the way, I said call. I got to give you a phone number. There's going to be two, and I'll give you another one later on. You can call 610-301-2091, or again, bachmansroofing.com. I was actually emailed another phone number earlier today, and I forgot to update it into my script. But that'll get the job done. Reach out to Mechanicsburg's all-time leading rusher to get your roof looked at. The Wildcats trotting onto the field here at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium in advance of tonight's kickoff. Dave, you've been part of some big games over your years as a coach, as a player, and in the broadcast booth. What's going through the minds of these young men right now?
Well, you got to seize the moment, right? There's got to be some excitement. It's a tough foe, right? This is a team that's put up 37 points a game. They've beat some impressive programs. We know what they did last year, not just to us, which was a very good game, but then went on to win the state title. And so I hope they're excited over there. They should be excited over there. You don't get many of these opportunities. I know playoffs have expanded to 16 teams, and that does get more teams in, and that's great. Or this year, I guess it was, it was 12 for our classification. But still, in the old days, it was just 4 in every classification. So it's an opportunity that didn't used to be there. There were 7-win teams and 8-win teams that missed the playoffs, and they had to go home. So these guys have an opportunity. They took care of business last week, and they should be really happy to be here and then go out and play like it.
I was at practice yesterday just before talking to head coach Dave Heckard, who, oh, by the way, now 21-2 through 1+ seasons as a head coach. That's a pretty impressive coaching mark. And watching these young men walk off the field yesterday, they walked off with every bit of confidence knowing that last night wasn't their last practice. They walked off the field knowing that they're going to come here tonight, they're going to compete, and next week they're going to get back at it. There was no, oh, this is it. They were ready, and even being on the field pregame today, they looked every bit ready as well.
Well, we have Division I athletes there. We have really good high school athletes there, even if they're not going on to play collegiately. Some of this other stuff that is what fans talk about, right? It's what we talk about. We are maybe of not that caliber of a player. Any great player who gets out there, they whether they're stepping into the batter's box, whether they're going out on the mat, the wrestling mat, whether they're stepping up to the free throw line, they believe they can do it. And if they don't believe they can do it, they shouldn't be there. And I have every reason to believe our guys think, hey, we're going to get this job done tonight, and we're going to see what happens.
The captains will come to midfield in just a few moments. They do the official coin toss prior to all the pomp and circumstance in the stadium, and then they bring the kids together with the officials at midfield. Another opportunity to recognize one of our great partners, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming. Fall sports are here, Wildcat fans, and even though we're on the back 9 of fall sports season, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming is still cheering on our hometown teams. While athletes hit the field, let your dog be the MVP at home. Call Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming today at 717-919-6266 or stop by 16 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg. Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, where every pet looks like a champion. So the captains for Bishop McDevitt will be making their way towards midfield in just a moment, including their star running back, Nazir Jones-Davis. We saw a lot of him last year in the Bishop McDevitt 26-14 win over the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Jude Slover, also one of the captains, Shahid Clement, and the final captain for Bishop McDevitt is Maurice Barnes Jr. I mentioned head coach Jeff Wechter, his 28th year. He is 297-73 at McDevitt. He has 14 wins at his time at Lebanon Catholic, and then 60-7, give or take a game, in the postseason. Captains for the Wildcats, Noah Apple, Drake Dawson, Jimmy Dwyer, Colin Stair. And again, the official coin toss happened earlier today. Mechanicsburg has won the toss and will receive. So we get to see what this Mechanicsburg offense can do first, Dave.
Yeah, I like what Coach Eckhart's thinking there. We won the toss. We know conventional wisdom recently at all levels of football seems to be to defer so that you have the extra possession in the second half. And yet I think the Cats have decided, we want to get this ball and we want to get things growing the right way first because this is going to be, the game plan for the Cats has got to be to shorten the game, right, to keep the offense of McDevitt off the field. And if you can get the game started with a possession that maintains and kills some time, that's a great thing.
We want to turn this over to public address announcer at the stadium, Rob Puglisi, for a special announcement regarding the McDevitt family.
Elliot is the father of our number 13, Shahid Clement, and a close family friend to our number 5, Nazir Jones-Davis. We ask you all to come together for a moment of silence in honor of the life of Elliot Clement. Thank you.
A special moment of silence honoring the passing of a player's father for Bishop McDevitt. And the Wildcat community, no stranger to moments like this. It's an opportunity for family and team to rally around one another. And at this moment, we'll take an opportunity to step out as well in advance of the pregame prayer here. Bishop McDevitt back with the kickoff in just a moment.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab. Or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
And welcome back to Rocco Hortensio Stadium on the campus of Bishop McDevitt High School. Mike Garland, Dave Harris, we're hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. It is the second round of the PIAA District 3 Class 5A football playoffs. And Dave, the talking is done. It is time to play football.
Yeah, if you're a coach or a player, it's time to get that first hit, right? It's always get that first hit in, get that first play in, get that first series in. I think Coach Checker talked a little bit about it on your Coach's Corner. Just kind of gotta see what the other team has, right? We don't have common opponents other than Carlisle, I guess. We don't have we haven't faced them, and so you hear this, you see this, people say this, but at the end of the day. There's going to be 11 players on each side of the field, and you just got to go out and figure it out. And I think, I'm sure Coach Eckert has those guys ready. Let's just get this thing going and see what we can do.
Aiden Grella will kick off for Bishop McDevitt. And the Wildcats have two back deep, including Darius Crawford-George and J.J. Gould. Both are lightning in a bottle with the ball in their hands and speed to burn. We've seen J.J. Gould bring one back this year. And we know what kind of speed and football wherewithal Darius Crawford-George has. So just seconds away from kicking off, Notre Dame, exactly. Clad in the Notre Dame gold and blue, Bishop McDevitt and the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Grella readies. The official signifies the start of play. And here we go. Grella kicks it high and deep, and that is going to be a touchback. It lands in the middle of the blue and gold clad end zone in between the P and M in Bishop McDevitt. And we get to see this Mechanicsburg offense for the first time today. 3,410 yards on the season, 310 yards per game, led by Noah Apple under center and Reese Miller in the backfield. But beyond those two skill players, you have a wall, the Hogs, if you will, for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats across the offensive line. So the Cats line up in a spread formation with a single back in the backfield. It is Reese Miller. McDevitt shows blitz, and Noah Apple is met at the line of scrimmage by Maurice Barnes Jr., a gain of 1 on the play. Barnes snuck up and showed blitz, and he slipped through between left guard and left tackle to make the stop.
Well, yeah, Coach Eckert obviously sees something. He comes out. He has them line up in the trips formation, kind of trying to get a little bit of an overload to the wide side of the field, thinking he might be able to find a little crease. Obviously, initially, Noah did get a little bit of a sliver in there, hence the forward progress of a yard gain, but shut down pretty quickly.
Noah Apple in that shotgun formation, standing at the 26-yard line. Jack DeLuca in motion. Drake Dawson with the reception. Drake Dawson surges forward, picks up maybe 6 or 7 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and short. And a nice job again by Maurice Barnes Jr. covering real estate to make that tackle.
Well, that's what the Cats are going to have to do, right? They're more than just Reese Miller. They're more than just Noah Apple. We've talked throughout the year about not getting the ball into the hands of Dawson quite as much as we'd like. We've seen him do some different things to do that, including put him into the backfield. But we got DeLuca back. We've just got to spread this ball around and try and find the spots that they're going to give us on the defensive side.
Movement from the right tackle, and that's going to back the Wildcats up 5. And this is something that Coach Heckert and I talked about yesterday, and it's something that we saw last year against Bishop McDevitt, mistakes. And you just can't make mistakes in a game with such high stakes like this one.
Well, the reality is you have to do everything right. And so it's about footwork, it's about leverage. And so, the young men on the Mechanicsburg side, on the offensive line, they know what they're up against. They know the defense here that we're talking about with McDevitt, who has not given up, when you see 13 points a game, but they've also played Harrisburg and State College on top of the team from Canada. They don't give up a whole lot of points. So they know that they've got to come out, and they got to come out firing, get a little excited, a little anxious there, a little fast.
3rd down and 7, and Noah Apple's pass intended for Jack DeLuca is just a little bit wide of target, and Apple was under pressure from the moment the ball was snapped. Zach Brown was in the backfield, and going back deep to return this punt for the Crusaders is Ish Palmer. And the Cats, we've seen a quick kick formation. We haven't necessarily seen that traditional deep punt drop, but I think with this hard-charging defense of Bishop McDevitt, Noah Apple may want to be careful.
Well, they're obviously they want to go 4th down as much as they can to keep possession of the ball, but you don't want to start off a playoff game at this situation by giving them the ball right there.
Ish Palmer fields it at about the 42, advances 9 yards into plus territory where he is tackled. Reese Miller in on the stop. So 1st down and 10 for the Crusaders near the 49-yard line. J.J. Gould, Tristan Wolf also in on the stop. So the officials trade out the footballs, and here comes the Bishop McDevitt offense led by Sebastian Williams, a junior. And there were questions about Williams at the beginning of the year, losing 2 straight, replacing Stone Saunders. Impossible shoes to fill, but he has rebounded nicely, rattling off 8 straight heading into the postseason. A running play on 1st down, and that is Nazir Jones-Davis, and he's going to be tackled at the 26. So a gain of just about 24 for Bishop McDevitt right out of the gate.
Well, if you're Coach Eckert, you got your worst scenario could play out, right? You have a nice pass play, giving you a 3rd and short, which opens up your whole playbook. You take a penalty there. You kick it away, which is decent enough, covered well enough, and then you give up a gash run, a big play run right out of the gate. So they got to button down, they got to tighten up, make them earn it, and not give up the big plays.
Williams in the shotgun. The fullback is Jack Dawson. And another running play from Nazir Jones-Davis.
Yeah, again, what the Cats MO should be going in, right, is obviously wanted the ball. That's why they took the kickoff, possessed the ball, shorten the game. But that also means then defensively not giving up the 24-yard kind of plays, right? Make them earn it. When I keep saying make them earn it, every extra play they need is a chance for a fumbled snap, a chance for a fumbled handoff, a chance for a fumble on a tackle, a chance for a holding call, a chance for a false start. So you want to continue to just keep scratching and clawing, as we say, as the Wildcats. Scratch and claw and fight and make them earn every yard. Don't give up, and don't give up easy plays.
Nazir Jones-Davis again with the carry into the second level, and it's going to move the chains. First down for Bishop McDevitt.
Well, this is one where, we got to see something out of the linebackers here. It's not a group we've talked a lot about this year the way we have maybe in some years past. We've talked a lot about, again, the prowess on the ends of this defensive line. We've talked certainly at different points about the secondary. We've not talked a lot about the linebackers. There's certainly been some good play out there from Drew Freeland and certainly some other folks that we've mentioned. But they've got to come up, step in, and make things happen. Now, there you go.
There's a running play from Jerome LaRue Jr. and a flag on the play as well.
And this is exactly what they have to do, right? Don't give up. And a credit to them. Credit to the coaching staff. Credit to the players, right? The momentum's against them right now. They have to get rid of the ball. They punt it away. They give up a big play. They give up a couple other nice runs that almost became touchdown runs. But they battled. And there's one where they shut them down. So let's see what the flag is, and let's see what the situation is here.
So we'll wait for the call from referee Ted Thompson. It's going to be a holding call against the Crusaders, which will bring the ball back to the 18. So first and goal from the 18. So each team with a flag. Almost certainly the Wildcats penalty early on, more costly than this as it's still first down. Single man in motion. Williams. Pass complete on the near side. Jonte quick spinning near the 3, and he's going to be tackled at the 2. And a nice job by the Wildcats and J.J. Gould to keep Quick out of the end zone.
Again, live to play another play. Each possession, live to play another play. Quick is a special player, right? We saw that last year. I think he's missed a lot of time this year with injury, so his statistics don't reflect exactly what he brings to the table. And, I think there's an element out there that we really haven't talked about. We're talking about things in a general sense, but speed. Speed is a difference maker, and there's no doubt in certain positions that McDevitt possesses a little bit of that, maybe more than we do in the counter position.
Inside handoff, Maurice Barnes Jr. Barnes surging and into the end zone for a Bishop McDevitt touchdown. He kept those legs churning and carried the Wildcats defense in for 6.
Yeah, if you're a coach, you go back and you look at this. I mean, obviously, you're always going to talk about what you could have done, what you should have done. They probably were a little high. Clearly, right? We see his legs going. Everybody's up at his waist or above. I think that's something Coach will point out when he looks at this film. But there also was 3 waves of players who made their way there, who made contact, who tried to stop. So I can't take anything away from the run. From the young man taking that into the end zone. At the same token, Barnes taking that in. Not a terrible effort from the Cats either.
Grella's extra point kick is up, and it is good. With 8:03 remaining in the first quarter, Bishop McDevitt strikes first. 7-0 Crusaders. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes, including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back to Rocco Hortensio Stadium. Mike Garland, Dave Harris, we're hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in tonight's web stream presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Maurice Barnes Jr. scores from 2 yards out to give the Crusaders their first points of the night. And kicking off for the second time tonight is Aiden Grella. He readies, and back deep for the Cats again. It's J.J. Gould, Darius Crawford, George Grella. booted the first kick about 8 yards into the end zone. This one is going to be fielded on a hop by J.J. Gould. Gould meets a wall of McDevitt tacklers. He is stood up by Jack Dawson, and Dawson never let go.
Yeah, no, Gould's got to come up there. He comes up in nice, but you can't tippy-toe at the end a little bit and gives them the momentum. But the refs blew the whistle, and they carried on beyond that. So this is going to be an opportunity for the Cats, and the Cats are going to have to take advantage of it.
That penalty goes against the Crusaders. So the best field position of the night thus far. And we remember last year against McDevitt, the Cats fell behind early, they battled back, and then just couldn't get over the hump in the third quarter. That third quarter last year really was the make or break point in that third round game against the Crusaders. So still plenty of football left. The Cats with their second offensive chance of the night, and they'll do so 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Noah Apple in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his left. Play fake to Reese Miller, sails it high to Ryan Foose, and that's the second time that Apple has sailed a ball high, and he's having to rush. He's not getting a ton of time back there to set his feet and look for a receiver.
Well, there's a couple things that you can say he's not getting it, but also the game is just quicker, and we talk about it early on in the season. Even when he was a starting quarterback for the first time, the game had to slow down for him at that level. This is another speed. It is in terms of quickness, but you just got to keep your composure. Kind of hold your water, as Rich Lichtel used to say. Just kind of be tight, be tough.
And a penalty pre-snap. So 2nd and 10 becomes 2nd and 15. That's the second false start penalty against the Wildcats as well. And you just can't win the football game when you're leading in the penalty column.
Well, and there's a situation where we see somebody on the edge of the offensive line there in Talon Verdelli, who I don't think we've seen much in there at tight end this year, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't noticed him. So this is a pretty tough place to be getting some of your first varsity tight end. Actually, I know he's played a fair amount on defense and done some really nice things on defense. But that's it exactly. The Cats have got to settle in. They've got to settle down. And Coach Hecker did talk a little bit about adjusting to the game, weathering the storm early on. But it is hard to weather the storm if you kind of act with panic as opposed to with composure.
Reese Miller, following the block of Colin Stair, gets 3 of those 5 yards back, so 3rd down and 12. Colin Stair, the starting fullback tonight for the Wildcats, moving Drake Dawson to one of the other tight end positions. So Coach Hecker definitely going heavy with his offensive formation, but it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 12, and maybe against the Hershey Trojans you can run on 3rd down and 12 and have the confidence of being able to pick up those 12 yards. This is a completely different defense, and I know that he has confidence in his team, but they've got to be able to complete a pass at some point.
Well, it's early in the game here, though, too, and so you're still looking to take some clock. You're still, obviously, you don't want to give the ball back and get down 2 scores, but you're correct. There aren't a whole lot of plays in the playbook with keeping the ball on the ground and picking up 12 yards.
Apple lobs it, and Drake Dawson mugged to the extent of his helmet being taken off. That is going to be a pass interference penalty and should be a 1st down for the Wildcats. Pass interference at the high school level, 15 yards. It was 3rd down and 12, so should be a 1st down for the Cats.
Either that or a face mask. Either way, it should yield it for them.
So Mechanicsburg picks up their first down of the night, each team with 2 penalties. McDevitt has 2 for 30, Mechanicsburg 2 for 10. And the Wildcats sniffing midfield for the first time today.
Well, this again is, we talk about opportunities. We talk about weathering the storm. You know what? So far the Cats, again, I thought they had good defensive efforts. So I don't want to say they couldn't play worse, but offensively they have not found anything steady that they can count on going to. What I love about what they called their Coach Hecker calling, through Coach Rubinick calling for that pass, let's just put it out there and let's see what we can do. Let's give ourselves a chance, right? There's you don't want to succumb, you don't want to give in. That's not how these kids are. That's not how Coach Hecker is and the coaching staff is. So give yourself a chance and see what you can do with it.
Reese Miller following the block from Drake Dawson, but the play is blown up in the backfield by Zach Brown. And a loss of 1 on the play.
Well, I think I saw him, and I also thought I saw number 1, a D-back, come shooting up in there as well. And so, I thought Reese had the corner, and I thought he had a little bit of green out there to reach. Looked like it was setting up to be a nice play. But it is a game of inches. And clearly, when looking at the teams we've played in the season we've had, there is room for error in each of those games, and you still get by. Each week into the playoffs you go, there's less and less room for error. You've got to be much more precise, much more exact in everything you do.
Drake Dawson on the Wildcats snap, surges forward, picks up 13, and Mechanicsburg with its first offensive first down of the night and into plus territory.
First one they've earned on their own, right?
Yes.
The other one does still count, even though two of them have come by penalty. We'll take those. But, the Wildcat to Dawson, and I think Coach Ecker's probably got a number of those kinds of things up his sleeve. Not that we haven't seen that at all. He knows that this is not something we're just going to come out and, as you said earlier, Mike, we're not just going to just smash it at them. That's just not how this game's going to play out. We got to try to keep them on their toes. We've got to try to use some things that catch them off guard. We don't do a lot of misdirection. Clearly, we're not a wing T team with crisscrosses and inside handoffs. We probably don't have the speed to go left or right on them, so we're going to have to mix it up with formations and play calls to try to keep them guessing.
Reese Miller with another inside handoff, met at the line of scrimmage by Maurice Barnes Jr. The Wildcat Foundation will host its 2026 Wildcat Foundation Night on February 20th, 2026 at Stocks Manor in Upper Allen Township. This is the Foundation's top annual fundraiser, and this year will feature a Monte Carlo theme welcoming the taste of, including Wildcat Cafe, Healthy U Cafe, Sweet Cordelia's Cake and Bake Shop, Owlsie's Ice Cream Truck, Longhorn Steakhouse, and Lucky Penny Burger Company and its Lavender Lemonade. Visit wildcatfoundation.org to learn more. Second down and 9. Jack DeLuca goes in motion. Reese Miller takes the handoff. DeLuca chips back on the block, and the Cats will gain 4.
Yeah, I don't know that he chipped back on him. I don't know what he did there. I'm not going to be honest. I almost thought he was going to hand it back to him and come back against the grain. Maybe it was an option that he had to give it to him if he didn't think he had anything there. I've never seen anything like that, admittedly. So, but also you have to watch the block against the grain. The chip.
My
block,
worry was,
So I don't know if that was something by design, which is really intriguing, or if it was just kind of Jack not realizing what was happening or how close Reese had gotten to him.
Well, the Cats gained a few yards. It's third down and 5, and Drake Dawson will take that shotgun snap. He tries to follow a lead block from Christian Bruno and then makes it to the 26-yard line and will move the chain. So 2 Wildcat formation runs by Drake Dawson. A nice job by Christian Bruno on the block, and it's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Well, throughout the season, I've talked a little bit about running backs and their vision, and mostly talking about that in terms of with Reese Miller and how he has found holes. There was a particular case where they tried to run it right up inside nice and tight like they did the previous time in a Wildcat, and it just wasn't there. And I panicked myself for a second because I saw Drake kind of do a little bit of a hop step to the right, but boy, he had his head up, he had his eyes up, he saw a crease, he took it, and there's the first down.
Drake Dawson, Colin Stair, a double fullback formation, and Colin Stair will take the handoff. Colin Stair bleeds into the second level and tackled at the 19-yard line by a handful of Crusaders, including Tyler Reinhardt and Torrin Dennis.
Well, I'll tell you what, right, you can watch a lot of film on Mechanicsburg. Matter of fact, you can watch 98% of the plays this year and not see Drake Dawson or Colin Stair carrying the ball, and that's exactly who's toting it right now from midfield as they're now down just on the edge of the red zone.
Colin Stair remains in the game. Check that. That's Drake Dawson at the fullback position, and a fumble. The ball's on the carpet. And it's going to be picked up by Bishop McDevitt. Fumble on the play, picked up by Tyler Reinhardt. And for as amazing as this drive has been, it stalls on a turnover.
Well, and that's the stuff that you just can't. You're going into score to get back in this game or make this a game and put them on their heels a little bit and have them wondering and question a little bit. Again. A lot of totes for Reese. I don't know if it was the exchange with Noah and Reese, or if it was just on Reese. That's something for the coaches to figure out later on. But boy, that's a momentum breaker. And the worst part is he was getting tackled, so he had no chance to go get his own ball. And I don't think anybody else realized it was on the carpet. So that's a shame. Great drive, but the Cats got to come right out. They got to kind of keep their heads up and play ball the way they're supposed to play ball right now and get this ball back somehow.
Sebastian Williams in the shotgun formation. The handoff goes to Jerome LaRue Jr., and LaRue Jr. picks up 2, maybe 3, second down and 7.
Yeah. If you weren't in such a good situation there with a 1st and 10, you accomplished some of your goal, right? You've turned the field over. You've run some time off the clock. You've kept their offense off the field. You say that's good, but that's not good enough. You got to score, right? You got to score, and you got to get some points there in that situation. And Cats just didn't get it done. So it's up to the defense here to battle and get this football back.
2nd down and 8. And LaRue Jr. one more time, met high by Drew Freeland. And LaRue Jr. will push Freeland into Jack DeLuca and advance to the 20-yard line, making it 3rd down and 4. Look, Drew Freeland, one of the leading tacklers on this team. In fact, he's 2nd in total tackles behind Colin Stair, but you just can't meet a back like Jerome LaRue Jr. high in the hole.
Well, he made the initial hit and he held on. He didn't get blown through. And credit to Drew there, made the play. But you're correct. That is, again, Coach. Yeah, we're not the coaches. Our job's not to break down the film. But when they break down the film, yeah, you want that kind of chest to hip area, and that's how you're going to slow that momentum down.
Maurice Barnes Jr., the single back in the backfield. Williams, pass near side. It is completed for the 1st down. Jonte Quick hauls it in. And for Jonte Quick, he came into the game 14 catches, 198 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You mentioned being limited to some extent by injuries, so the numbers don't necessarily reflect the player that he is, but what he does is help move the chains and get the Crusaders out of the shadow of their end zone.
Well, he's got speed and he's got quickness, and that's a quick out. That's just a 5-yard out, and so he gets out of the break quickly, and it's going to be really hard for the Cats to stick with guys in that situation. And they it wasn't poorly covered, but he just gets separation so easily, and quarterback puts a nice ball on him.
Maurice Barnes Jr., the deep back, Sebastian Williams in what would be known as the pistol formation, and the pitch to Barnes Jr., and Talon Verdelli does a great job breaking down, wrapping up the ankles, and limiting Maurice Barnes Jr. to just 1 yard.
Well, and that's the thing. We saw him on the touchdown, and we saw him just a moment ago, and we talked about trying to tackle him up high. Verdelli comes back and does it the right way and holds him to a 1-yard gain. So very nice play there by Verdelli.
1:20 to go in quarter number 1. And the McDevitt offense back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 9. Single back in the backfield, this time around Nazir Jones-Davis. It's a swing pass. Ish Palmer with the reception, has a convoy of blockers as well. He cuts back towards the near side hash, and he's going to be taken down by Landon Yale and J.J. Gould, but not before a gain of about 20. 1st down and 10 for the Crusaders.
Yeah, very well executed. Certainly a screen pass, what's called a quick screen, but not a bubble screen. And the Cats know what the disadvantage is in terms of the speed situation. And so the deeper coverage is playing so far off, which allows those initial 2 receivers to get downfield and lock people out. And basically with the screen there, he comes up and he's got the 1st down before any contact is even made, and then picks up extra yardage. So, well designed and well executed by McDevitt.
2 backs in the backfield. The handoff to Jerome LaRue Jr., and he is into the 2nd level for a gain of 8, maybe 9, as Bishop McDevitt continues to matriculate the ball down the field.
Yeah, we're probably nearing maybe one more play in the quarter. If you're Coach Heckard, you want to battle here. You want to, and it looks like I'm trying to look at the play clock. Oh no, I think they'll let this thing go.
Yeah, 26 seconds on the play clock, 9 seconds on the game clock. That'll almost certainly be the final play of the quarter. It's just 7-0 Crusaders. They have momentum, but the Wildcats have proven they can play against this Bishop McDevitt defense. It's just a matter of holding now with the Crusader offense on the field. 7-0 Crusaders lead. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
In between quarters here at Rocco Hortenzio Stadium, Mike Garland and Dave Harris were hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Tonight's web stream presented by our friends at 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. And Wildcat Athletics would like to recognize the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department for their continued support of our athletic web streams. With the Recreation Department here in Mechanicsburg, you can immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From creative crafts, dance to fitness opportunities, family fun, and more, they offer a little bit of something for everybody. Visit mbgsd.org, click on the Recreation tab, or drop by their office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure. So it's 2nd down and 1 for the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders as they reverse skate, now playing left to right. And the tight end, Jack Dawson, will become the leading blocker. Now there's a mix-up in the backfield. Sebastian Williams was trying to hand it off, couldn't do it, and a flag flies in. At the moment, the ball is going to be spotted in territory which would result in a Bishop McDevitt first down, but we'll see what the call is from referee Ted Thompson. A personal foul, face mask against Mechanicsburg.
So, yeah, McDevitt had the first down earned already, but so the bad news here is, again, whether it was intentional or unintentional is irrelevant. They're going to march off 15 yards. So, again, the Cats got through the first quarter. They struggled a little bit there early on got a few things going, as we said, on offense. And the defense, again, you can't use the bend but don't break concept when you haven't stopped them yet. But, again, as we just saw, the Cats had a nice drive between penalties and then offense moving right down the field, turned it over. So here we are. It's 21 yards between them and the goal line, and you really just need to come out, play every play, punch that ball loose if they can. There was a mix-up in the backfield. We gotta try to blow things up. We got to try to take advantage. They're a team that also has to minimize their errors and minimize their mistakes.
Nazir Jones-Davis takes the handoff through the second level, and a flag flies in as Ryan Foose and Jack DeLuca make the tackle. It was thrown from the area of the back judge umpire vicinity. Could be a hold.
I think it could be a hold, yeah.
Could be a face mask.
Hold.
So holding against Bishop McDevitt, their third penalty now for 40 yards.
Yep, again, battle. Play every play. Play it to the whistle. And take and try to you got to create opportunities, and they will make mistakes, and whether those mistakes are penalties like that, or whether the mistake is putting the ball on the carpet at some point, or a tip pass that gets picked off, you don't know what you can create for yourself. But the one thing you do know is you can't create it for yourself if you got your head down. You can't create for your team if you don't think you can do it. You got to keep your head up, and I mean that literally, but also in terms of where your attitude is at and what you bring to each play here, because we're at a crucial stage in this game where if the Cats can find a way to hold them to a field goal or keep them out of the end zone completely, that'll be big.
Sebastian Williams' pass intended for Liam Fuller, and Fuller a hard target to overthrow, Dave. 6'6", 230, a man among boys out there. He is a senior, and he was the intended recipient of that one.
Well, part of that was the Cats had a nice bit of traffic there in the middle of the field, so the quarterback couldn't just stick it on him. There was a chance there then of an interception over the middle. I think he wanted to lead him and try to put it on his hands, and you're correct. Still not an easy task to overthrow that, and he managed to. But the Cats did a nice job forcing him to put it a little bit more over the top.
Handoff to Nazir Jones-Davis, and he picks up about 6 yards on the play, and now a late flag. There may be unsportsmanlike conduct called against the Crusaders, and it is. So add or delete 15 from that play.
Well, I think some of the fans in front of us actually saw it before the officials even saw it. I don't know what they saw because I did not see it, other than, I saw three Crusaders players. I didn't really see a Mechanicsburg player around, so I don't know what happened. But, again, just like the offensive penalties, these defensive penalties, I say defensive, they're on the offense, but they're helping the Cats' defense. You just got to take advantage of that, right? You got a situation here. Back to the play that actually happened away from the penalty. Again, Cats didn't play penalty, but still tackling way too high. And those high tackles, a couple things happen. One, sometimes they get broken. Sometimes, as we saw on the touchdown there, when that was Barnes on the touchdown.
Yes,
correct?
7.
Yeah, Barnes on the touchdown, you just couldn't stop them, and it took 6 guys, and they all made decent plays. Can't stop them. You got to go low, and when they've gone low, they've been successful.
Third down at about 25 for Bishop McDevitt. Sebastian Williams in the shotgun. 3-step drop. Gets the pass off, and it gets past Dylan Taylor, but the receiver, Ish Palmer, falls down. Taylor broke on that pass, maybe trying to pick it, definitely trying to make a play. Ish Palmer corrals it, and it's still going to send the field goal unit out for head coach Jeff Wechter. But I think the Cats dodged a serious bullet there with Palmer falling down on the turf.
Well, yeah. Taylor made a nice play on it. I thought he had a chance, but he just didn't have quite the closing speed to take care of things. But, again, putting him in a situation to hold him to a field goal attempt, or at least lining up for a field goal attempt, big thing for the Cats defense.
A 42-yard field goal attempt. The snap, the hold, the kick, plenty of leg, and it is good. So with 10:05 remaining, the Crusaders extend the lead to 10 following a 42-yard Austin Grella field goal. By the way, a long on the season. The previous was 38. We're going to take a break. Come right back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn.
Which attracted golfers.
Morning.
Who needs a warm-up?
And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at truegreen.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Rocco Hortenzio Stadium, Mike Garland, Dave Harris. We're hanging out of the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in tonight's game, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Aiden Grella, who just booted a 42-yard field goal, will tee it up to kick it away. This is his third kickoff of the night. The first was a touchback. The second was returned about 20 yards by J.J. Gould. We'll see what we get this time around as Darius Crawford-George and J.J. Gould stand back deep. Gould will field at the 5. Gould across the 15, bounces outside, runs into traffic, and again, Jack Dawson doesn't let go. He makes the tackle, and first down and 10 for the Cats at about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, if you're Coach Heckard, I don't want to say you're pleased to be in the situation. You'd really like it to be 7-7. You think it should be 7-7. You'd say, okay, 10-7. But not a lot went well for the Cats early on offense, and even defensively, things weren't great. So to cough the ball up, what that can do to you morale-wise, and yet still hold them to a field goal is a big thing. And so really incumbent on this Cats offense right now to get moving, to get going, and get some points on the board here in the second quarter.
15 seconds on the play clock. Noah Apple looking to the sideline. He was counting formation. Mechanicsburg only had 10 men on the field. Donnie Despinis will trot out. Shotgun snap. Apple will keep scrambling to his right, and he's going to be escorted out of bounds. Either no gain on the play, possibly a loss of 1.
Well, that says a lot to me there in terms of, just do you wonder, is there an injury over there? Did they do something with a personnel package switch? But to summon somebody on that late and to the far side of the field to line up probably was not ideal. Credit to the Cats getting the snap off and not having to take a penalty there, or take a timeout there, or not getting a delay of game. Certainly two silver linings in that otherwise kind of hiccup to start this drive.
So officially no yards gained on the play. Drake Dawson is the fullback, Reese Miller the tailback. Ryan Foose will go in motion coming around. Reese Miller takes that handoff. Miller spins into the second level where he's met after a gain of 7. Coming out of the pile with the tackle for McDevitt is Tyler Reinhardt.
Well, what we've seen from Reese so far, and I don't know him personally, but I can imagine no one's more upset about that turnover than he is, whatever his role was in that. But one thing we saw earlier in the year, and he's had only a couple of fumbles, but he comes back stronger. And so credit to the coaching staff to say, buddy, it happened. It's over. We got you. Here you go. And he came out, and that was his best run of the night.
Miller one more time, spinning through a couple of tackles and picks up the first down. So a well-earned first down for Reese Miller. Some pushing and shoving near the line of scrimmage, but no harm, no foul, and the Cats will retreat back to their huddle as the chains move.
Yeah, Cats got to stay above that. They've got to stay out of that, and especially being down, the last thing they can ill afford is unnecessary penalties. Holds are going to happen. Defensive face masks are going to happen. You don't want them, but they're going to happen. You don't need something that you're in complete control of, like false starts, like delay of games, or like personal fouls after the play.
Colin Stair, Drake Dawson, heavy backfield with Reese Miller behind those two behemoths. And the handoff will go to Reese Miller, where he is met by Ja'Kai Logan. And no yards gained on the play, the second 0-yard run for the Cats on this drive.
Well, again, sticking with their game plan, let's keep this thing on the ground, right? Let's keep that clock moving. Obviously, we got to move sticks. We got to get points. We're not in a situation where we have to start getting out of our plan, where we have to start trying to sling it around the yard, because once we try to do that, A, that's not really us, right? That's not who we've been. And B, that really works in the hands of the defense when they sense you've gotten to that level. And we just got to go back to some of the things we did last series and see if we can get the sticks moved.
Drake Dawson from the Wildcat formation is corralled in the backfield, met first by R.J. Duffy. And for the first time tonight, that Wildcat formation results in a negative play from scrimmage. It's now 3rd and 11.
Well, they're going to have something off of that, and they probably do have something off of that, right? When you come out and it's kind of a one-trick pony and they know it, it's not very effective, right? So you caught them off guard early. Coaches probably made some adjustments, and now they know how to handle that. You're going to have something else coming off of that, whether that's somebody coming across in a jet sweep motion. You could do a fake sweep and an out. There's all kinds of things. Dawson's got an arm on him, so I think we'll see something else later on tonight.
Cats are going to be called for a motion penalty as J.J. Gould turned up the field prior to the snap, and that pass is incomplete. McDevitt will decline it to bring up 4th down and 11.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want that penalty, but it didn't affect the play. We had a little too much pressure on our quarterback. Noah got able to get a little bit outside, but was not able to get the ball anywhere near where he wanted to be able to get it to try to pick up the first down. So penalty's unfortunate, but again, it did not factor into what brought the pressure on the Cats. And so that's we've had a lot of that leakage inside there throughout the early part of this game. And when the Cats can go shoulder to shoulder and stay low and drive forward, right, with their run blocking, kind of wedging it and moving some things, they've moved the pile a little bit. But their pass blocking technique has left them down a little bit tonight so far.
Can't have that leakage. It's pretty much bad under any scenario.
It is. I
can't think of a positive scenario where leakage is involved.
I'm glad we have a roofing company now that helps us with that.
More on that in just a moment. And now seems like that moment. Wildcat fans, this special message from Dan Lewis, Mechanicsburg's all-time leading rusher. Dan wants you to know that he's still proudly a member of Wildcat Nation and serving his hometown with Central Pennsylvania's all-time best roofing vendor, Bachman's Roofing. With winter at our doorsteps, it's prime time to get your roof checked and keep your family warm, protected, and secure. So no more timeouts, Wildcats. Call Dan today at 717-433-2478 or visit bachmansroofing.com. Let's tackle your roofing questions together and score a great deal. So following the penalty, Ish Palmer will stand on his own 48-yard line. Noah Apple boots it away. Palmer retreats to the 36. Palmer shakes one tackle, spins through the center circle logo here at Rocco Hortensio Stadium, where he is brought down by the combo package of Despenis and Wolf. First down and 10 Crusaders from midfield.
Yeah, great kick, great punt, nice and deep. I thought it might almost carry over his head. It didn't. He was able to field it in a very nice return. But credit to the Cats. They kept it contained. I worry about the outside. We talked about the special teams early on before the game tonight, Mike, and you worry about them, again, with the speed that McDevitt has getting on the outside. Those are kind of backbreakers when those things happen at the change of possession. So a nice stop there, even though it was a decent gain. We're now at a crucial mark here, right? We're near the halfway mark of the second quarter. Offensively, we've had one decent drive, two so-so to poor drives, if you will. The D has got to step it up here and find a way to not give up points somehow.
Nazir Jones-Davis met at the line of scrimmage. A gain of 1 on the play. Coming out of the pile for the catch, Drake Dawson, Talon Verdelli.
Yeah, that's a nice play there. I mean, I feel defensively, our line has stood up to the test thus far, right? I think we've had a little trouble tackling at the second level, whether that's the linebackers, whether it's the secondary. We've been too high, but then that's where we've given up the bigger yardage plays. But at this situation, to get them in that 2nd and 9 is right where we would like them to be. But we gotta keep the pressure on them.
Sebastian Williams dropping back to pass, going deep, has a man, it's intercepted. No! J.J. Gould had it, but it came out of his hands when he hit the ground. Now a penalty, which I believe is going to be called against Bishop McDevitt and Liam Fuller. There was some contact after the play, and Fuller may have made a motion that the officials thought could have been a kicking motion on, I believe, Ryan Foose.
Yeah, we're going to see what the call is here. There was something at the end, and I don't know. Obviously, based on how Liam is acting, I think he's frustrated, and he feels. I think that's a sign that he's going to get the call, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think if I'm being unbiased here, I think what happened was they were just tangled up, and he was trying to get his leg free. Just an unfortunate call in that scenario, but fortunate for the Cats in that it's a dead ball. So not only is the pass incomplete, but you're going to back up that high-powered Bishop McDevitt offense 15 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and maybe 24. So another opportunity to stop them, get the football back, and do something before half.
Well, and they had an opportunity there. They've got to come up with that interception. I know it's less than ideal being inside your 5-yard line, and if they get the stop here and get the ball back, it'll all be off the table, right? But that's an if. Well covered, and we had some pressure. We brought a nice blitz up. I think it was Freeland shot up inside the gap on the right-hand side, put some pressure on the quarterback. He probably got rid of it maybe a hair sooner, put some air underneath it.
A screen pass is blown up at the line of scrimmage.
So there we go now. Now I'll go back to, as much as the interception would be nice, in hindsight, probably a blessing that he didn't hold on to it, right? And now they've held. So now, again, you got to stay on side here. You got to watch for a fake here, and you got to secure the ball and catch it cleanly back here. So we got a lot of things we got to take care of here before we celebrate the defensive stop. But again, good pressure and good coverage on the incomplete pass, and well sniffed out on the screen pass and dropping them for a loss.
2 weeks in a row, the Wildcat defense has forced a 4th and 30+ something, and in this scenario, it's 4th and 32. Make it 4th and 37 following the offsides against the Crusaders. By the way, that tackle on that screen pass, Landon Yale, he missed a handful of weeks through the middle and back end of the year, returned to the lineup last week, made an impact, and is making an impact again tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Cats are turning up on the right side of this of the penalty situation. That has a way of evening itself out oftentimes over the course of a night. So we've got to take, again, advantage of every opportunity that we have.
Punt is blocked!
Punt is blocked!
And the Cats are going to follow it in the end zone. Drake Dawson with the block and the recovery.
There it is.
Touchdown, Wildcats.
That's the kind of stuff we're going to need. That's the kind of stuff we're going to need. It was he came clean off the end. There's no doubt that the Cats are kind of on their heels and a little bit here and there, but they've kept their fire, they've kept their fight, and they're right back in this thing.
Drake Dawson came untouched. I guess that's positive leakage right there. He leaked from this side into the backfield and clogged up the punt.
Well, he just saw exactly what was available to him and took advantage of it. And those ones sometimes scare you a little bit because you're like, this is almost too clean, and I don't want to get a roughing penalty. But he stayed out in front right where the foot was and made sure that he didn't make any contact with him.
The snap, the hold, the extra point kick off the foot of Tanner Minnick is up for what seems like forever, crosses the plane of the crossbar and is good with 5:34 remaining in the first half. It is Mechanicsburg trailing by 3, 10-7 Bishop McDevitt leads. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Rocco Hortensio Stadium, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, and you. And the Wildcats are on the board following a Drake Dawson blocked punt, scoop, and score. It is 10-7, trailing by 3 against the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders. And the Cats will line up for this kickoff. Tanner Minnick will be handling the kickoff duties, and back deep to receive this one for the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders is the speedster Ish Palmer. Palmer encourages his lead blockers to shift up. We haven't seen too many deep kicks from Minnick this year.
Umbrellas are out, too, so a slick ball is something to keep an eye on at this point, too.
There's that squib, and it hits Jack Dawson, and the fullback is rumbling before Grady Weaver escorts him out of play. And yes, the rain is falling here at Bishop McDevitt.
Well, again, not surprised with the squib kick. We've seen that plenty this season. We've talked a little bit about it. You're trying not to give up the big play. But you also, these guys aren't going to just lay down, and I don't mean lay down in the metaphorical sense of give up, but we've seen it plenty where teams are just happy to have the ball out around the 40, and they don't try to advance it very far. They kind of run into the tackle. In this particular case, you've got to maintain your contain. You've got to stay in your lanes. You've got to play your responsibility. We didn't do that so well on the left-hand side that time.
So following what was a 4th and 37 blocked punt, the Bishop McDevitt offense is back on the field. Sebastian Williams, a screen pass left, corralled by Jerome LaRue Jr., and he's going to be escorted out of bounds by Ryan Foose and Dylan Taylor. And is there another flag on the play, Dave?
No, we have an injury over there.
Okay.
Obviously, somebody came right up nice and played it very, very well. I don't know if it's a stinger or a shoulder, but he went down quickly. He's rolled out of bounds. And that's why I thought it was going to be stopped for maybe a 1 or a 2 yard gain, because that's where the initial hit was. Very well defensed by whoever is down with the injury, but unfortunately was not able to take the player to the ground, and he advanced it, of course, setting him up with the 2nd and short.
Trying to catch a number of that Wildcat player who's now standing but being screened by Dr. Sandy Zettelmoyer.
Well, I think if it could be the outside linebacker over there. That might have been, and I'm not sure about it.
It is
might
Jack
have been
DeLuca.
DeLuca. Yeah, I thought maybe it was.
It is Jack DeLuca, who's been battling through injuries all season long.
And we need him out there on both sides of the ball. He is a difference maker. We need him out there, but I'm a little nervous after seeing him go down there.
That was a 9-yard gain on that running back screen. Nazir, check that. That is actually Ish Palmer in the backfield. No, I was right the first time. Nazir Jones-Davis goes nowhere on that play.
Great. I tell you what, good initial point of attack and then great flow from the second group. And that's what you got to do, right? It can't just be the guy at the point of attack. And we talked about that first guy hitting them too high, but the second and the third guy in have been hitting too high. That time they brought a lot of pressure coming through and kind of created a pile and created a mess towards the sideline. And you got to use that sideline as your 12th defender. They did so very well there.
Well, and Bishop McDevitt already played a team from Canada this year, so, the Canadian team only brought 11 defenders that day, but certainly the 12th defender, not a foreign concept. It is 3rd down and 2. And the handoff to Nazir Jones-Davis. He squeaks through not only into the second level, but plus territory to move the chains. And Landon Yale is down near the 35-yard line. He had a big tackle for loss on the previous series. And nice sportsmanship by Bishop McDevitt and the combo of Aiden Milich, and also one of the other linemen helping him up.
Those are the plays the Cats are going to have to make if they are going to fully take advantage of how the first half has played out for them. They could very easily be down 14-0. You could also argue they could be up 14-10 if they hadn't turned the ball over, right? But the reality is McDevitt's offense has been able to do a little more of what they've wanted to than the Mechanicsburg offense. The Mechanicsburg defense has held tough, but you gotta get some of those short yardage stops, and we just have not done too much of that when it really mattered so far yet tonight.
So it's 1st down and 10. Nazir Jones-Davis stopped near the line of scrimmage by Dylan Taylor. Perfect opportunity to wish that young man a happy birthday today. Happy birthday, Dylan, and hello to his stepdad, Jerome Terryberry, currently serving in the U.S. Army, watching at Fort Sill in Oklahoma. So congratulations to Dylan on that tackle, and happy birthday, and to your father, your stepdad, thank you for his service.
Yes, thank you.
So 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, the Cats they're figuring out a few things up front. We've talked a little bit about this. This is about the 3rd time, if I'm not mistaken, that we've seen a 1 yard or no yard gain on 1st down. So we're getting that part down. Now it's second and third to have got to follow suit here.
Williams will keep it, and he gets near the line to gain. He needed 9, picked up probably 8 before he's met by Drew Freeland. So 3rd down and 1 for the Crusaders as the rain continues to fall.
So, again, this is where we got to step up, right? We had the first down play, great. Second, the quarterback pulls it. When he pulls it, he's able to take care of his business and get up there. But this is a stop that the Cats have not made one of these big short yardage stops yet tonight, especially on a 3rd down. We just saw them give it up a moment ago, so hopefully they can come through with that right here and right now.
Jack Dawson, the fullback, Sebastian Williams under center. The handoff to Maurice Barnes Jr., and Barnes Jr. not only picks up the 1 yard he needed, but about 15 more. It's going to be 1st down and goal for the Crusaders from near the 5-yard line.
Yeah, they did basically an A-gap run blitz. They were coming right up inside nice and tight, and I do believe there was probably some sort of pre-snap read on that for McDevitt, and he just kind of bounced it to the outside and then worked it back into the second level, easily picking up the 1st down.
So Sebastian Williams back under center. The ball is spotted at the 5. They hand off to Barnes Jr. Drew Freeland will meet him at about the 2, and Barnes Jr. extends that 6'2", 215-pound frame forward. The ball should be spotted somewhere near the 1, bringing up 2nd down and goal with about 2:43 remaining in the first half.
Well, again, the Cats defended that better than they did the last time Barnes got the ball that close to the goal line. They held him out, and now you got to try to, again, can we blow this up? Can we get a turnover? Can we get a penalty? Let's do something. Battle, battle, battle.
Touchdown, Bishop McDevitt, Maurice Barnes Jr., 2 strides and he was in the end zone.
Yeah, it opened up nicely for him on that side. You know, I thought the Cats played tough all the way down the field. The short kickoff with a reasonable return. They only had to go 40 yards. Obviously, I know Coach Ecker did what he wanted to do and didn't want to give up the big return, and I don't second guess that for 1 second. At the same token, it's really hard to keep McDevitt out of the end zone under any circumstances. Certainly gets much easier for McDevitt when you give him the ball on the 40-yard line. So something that we're going to have to try to not do the next time we kick off.
Aiden Grella's extra point is good with room to spare. 2:26 remaining in quarter number 2. The Crusaders extend the lead back to 10. 17-7 Bishop McDevitt back after this live on Go Mechanicsburg. Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
And following the Maurice Barnes Jr. touchdown, his 2nd of the night from short distance, Bishop McDevitt leads this one 17-7. And Barnes came into this game with just 375 yards rushing, Dave, on 62 carries, but he had 9 touchdowns. He pushes that total to 11, and he's definitely over the 400-yard rushing mark.
Yeah, the Cats they've been battling on defense. They've been gradually putting it together a little bit on offense, but they've got to get this ball with 2:26 and 3 timeouts, and they need to, it is 3 timeouts, and they need to take advantage of that situation because, again, they will be kicking off to start the second half, having taken the opening kickoff. So 2:26, 3 timeouts, going to have the ball at the 20-yard line. I mean, again, you don't want to – the last thing you want to do is give up a score to McDevitt before half. You'd certainly love to go get a score. You really kind of need to go get a score. But more than a score right now, you need a 1st down because McDevitt's got 3 timeouts. So if you run this thing into the middle of the line and don't gain any yardage, fully expect McDevitt to use their first timeout, right? They're going to timeout. And knowing that you might throw an incompletion in it, even saves them that, you got to kick it back to them, and they're going to get the ball back somewhere around the 150 mark if we don't find a way to advance the football.
So here we go, 1st down and 10 for the Cats as Drake Dawson will be the quarterback, or at least in the Wildcat formation this time around. Dawson in the more traditional quarterback roles, slings it deep, and it's caught. That is Noah
It has to be
Apple.
Noah Apple. Yep, I love it. And I knew there had to be something else coming off that, and it wasn't trickery, right? McDevitt wasn't tricked by that. Noah Apple was a really good receiver last year. He had a good game against McDevitt in the playoffs last year. We need him at quarterback, but guess what? Maybe he is our best receiver, and especially if that was DeLuca who went out with an injury or is just kind of being tended to right now. Drake can throw that ball, as we just saw. What a play and what a moment here in this game.
Well, the kid who caught it goes back under center and hands off to Reese Miller. Miller trying to weasel his way through those blockers, picks up 2, maybe 3 yards. And the Wildcats are in a bit of a hurry-up right now as Apple trots to the sideline to get the play from head coach Dave Heckert and crew. Back to the huddle he comes, closing in on that 2-minute mark. We've seen Tanner Minnick kick a field goal this year. It's not something the Cats want to go to, but it's definitely possible. He hit a 29, so Cats are going to need to get inside about the 15 if we're going to try that. And Grady Weaver. No, check that. That was Reese Miller with the carry. And
see, if you're Mechanicsburg here, the temping here, it's third. So I'm surprised McDevitt's not using a timeout here to preserve some time for themselves. Because if you're Mechanicsburg has played this right. They didn't really hurry it up, Mike, right? They kind of rehuddled after that because as much as they want a touchdown, more importantly, they don't want McDevitt to get the ball back. It's not like it's not like they don't want to score. That's not what I'm saying. But they can't risk giving McDevitt the ball back with a chance to score.
3rd and 5, Noah Apple, quarterback keeper, contact near the line of scrimmage. Apple continues to spin forward, and he's going to be tackled at about the 38-yard line, 4th down and 3.
So they're going to go for this here, I believe.
Yeah, Zach Brown in on the tackle for the Crusaders.
Yeah. So you're going to go for this, and if you get it, then you still have your 3 timeouts if you don't get it. So very well executed clock management and decision-making from my perspective for Coach Eckert and Mechanicsburg staff so far. It's still a little surprised that McDevitt isn't trying to get the ball back this half.
Mechanicsburg looking to draw Bishop McDevitt off sides. They're not going to do it, and will call a timeout instead. So with 39 seconds remaining in the first half, the Cats call their first timeout. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Following the Wildcat timeout, it's going to be 4th down and 3. The offense will trot back out on the field. And, Dave, I completely get where you were going with what you were trying to say earlier in that, sure, points are nice, but even nicer is not giving Bishop McDevitt the football back.
Well, I mean, obviously we can't win if we don't score 11 more points, right? So you do need to score. The difference is in the we're in the battle right now, but the war is longer, right? And so we can't lose the war while trying to win this battle.
J.J. Gould goes in motion. The handoff to Reese Miller, and Miller is going to be close to the line to gain, but there's a flag at the 43-yard line. Coaches on the McDevitt side very animated, thinking it's going against the Wildcats. We'll wait for that official call. I don't know if it was a receiver motion issue or if he wasn't set before the snap, but definitely jubilation on the McDevitt side as referee Ted Thompson comes together with his crew.
We didn't get a great spot. If that's where, if that's where they're spotting the ball, clearly they would decline the penalty and take the ball right there with 35 seconds. But again, a little bit surprised.
Illegal shift the call against the Wildcats. So, yeah, we go back to that spot. If the Cats get the first down, then you have to take the penalty. But the fact that they were stopped short of the line to gain, it's easy to decline it. I don't know that Coach Heckert has much say or authority to request a measurement, but I guess it's pretty cut and dry there as you saw the ball at about the 35 and a smidge yard line, and the Cats needed to get full on to the 35.
Yeah.
So first down and 10 for the Crusaders with 35 seconds in all 3 timeouts. Yeah. This is a must-stop series for the Wildcat defense. Williams, 3-step drop.
False start over here.
A whistle, and it's going to be a false start against Bishop McDevitt.
0 left early. So, but yeah, I think here if I'm Mechanicsburg, I'm going with a little bit more of a dime package. I don't want to call it a prevent, but you just can't risk somebody running free down through there. And I'd get an extra D-back in there because I don't think. I'm not saying they're not going to run the ball. I'm not saying they're not going to run a screen pass or a tight end, this or that. But you got to keep things in front of you is what you got to do here at this point, and not put it. We've seen their kicker, right? He's a big league kicker. It looks like he could probably be good. I'd let him attempt from 50 yards, which is the 33-yard line. Maybe I'd let him attempt from further based on that first field goal that he made. So you just got to keep him in front of you and not give up the big play here.
An official's whistle and players from the bench and the officials looking up to the press box, maybe wanting a change of time. And now the McDevitt coach's box, which is to our left, has opened the door, and they're going to communicate that message from the official to the sideline through the headset up here. So whether it's more time or less time, that communication has been made. They put 2 seconds back on the game clock. It doesn't seem like much, but every second matters in a game like this. So first down and 15 for the Crusaders. Following the penalty, they're going to have the ball spotted on their own 30-yard line. Sebastian Williams in the shotgun. Nazir Jones-Davis, sidecar right. Williams with the quick hitter to Ish Palmer. Palmer up the near sideline, cuts back towards the Rocco Ortenzio Stadium lettering, where he is met by Jack DeLuca and Ryan Foose. He picks up the first down. The chains are going to move. The clock stops for the briefest of moments for the chains to reset. Now a timeout has been called by Bishop McDevitt. We'll keep it right here. So we know that Aiden Grella has a huge leg. They probably need about 25 to 30 more yards for it to be a legitimate high school level kick, but why not give him a try?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, his last field goal attempt was that somewhere close to 40 yards.
42.
Right, you said 42. So, and that hit, I believe, the soccer net in the air. And so I think that's the 30-yard line would have been, a 42-yarder would have been a 25-yard line. So I think you could probably try this from the 35-yard line, to your point. So that's about 16 yards from here. And that's not to say you wouldn't try it from a little further out too, right? What's the loss on that? You're getting the ball back to start the next bit. Now, block kick.
We've seen it once.
Right. So
and the longer the kick, the lower the trajectory, and all of the things that you hear the talking heads talk about.
Yep.
Want to say hi to Vicky Rinyard. She messaged me on Facebook today out of the blue saying she and her crew are watching from Cancun, Mexico, where the weather is in the 80s and probably not raining. So thank you, Vicky, for the kind words. Thank you, everyone who's tuning in tonight on Go Mechanicsburg, the web stream presented by our friends at 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. 17-7, McDevitt leads, 26 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Crusaders will get the ball to start the second half. The handoff to Nazir Jones-Davis. He is met at the line of scrimmage. Certainly Mechanicsburg not looking to stop this clock as Landon Yale makes the tackle. And another stoppage by the Crusaders.
They took a little bit of a while to decide that, so I thought for a second, especially after running it, that they were going to be content to let it run out. Sometimes you do run it, assuming that you're going to catch a defense sleeping, right? The guy, the defensive line, thinks they're going to come upfield. They're going to, pin their ears back and try to put pressure on the quarterback. Your linebackers and your secondary are bailing out to not give up the big pass play. But the Cats played that well, so it seemed like they were caught off guard a little bit by what they wanted to do there and lost a few more seconds.
A couple of minutes late, but an out-of-town score update. Solanco leads Warwick 14-10 in the second quarter. Exeter up over Conestoga Valley 20-7. So that's the rest of the bracket. New Oxford and Spring Grove, again, that 21-0. The Colonials lead the Rockets. Here it is 17-7, Bishop McDevitt, 16 seconds remaining. Williams, shotgun snap, under pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's got to tuck and run. Drew Freeland looking to chase him out of bounds and does so. Now the chains will move, and with 8 seconds remaining, I think if you're head coach Jeff Wechter and the clock is stopped, you have one more shot. If you can pick up the yardage, you send the field goal unit out, and you know what? Maybe you send him out anyway.
Well, I think at this point, it depends on the circumstance, right? It's still first half. You're up 10. I don't want to say you've had your way offensively because clearly you punted and it got blocked, and you only have 17 points on the board. So I can't say you've had your way, but they've had success offensively. So you may be content to just take a shot. On the other hand, the defense is going to be back. They're going to be conservative. So maybe you take the quick 5-7 yard out, step out of bounds, clock stops, timeout or no timeout, and it gets you a little bit better situation because from here
55.
It's going to be about a 55-yarder. You needed your fingers, Mike. I had it figured out quicker.
I'm not that smart. Sebastian Williams with the inside handoff to Nazir Jones-Davis. Well, that will put the Crusaders into field goal range as head coach Jeff Wechter hustles down the sideline to call that final timeout. So we will see Aiden Grella trot out onto the field to attempt what will be about a 37-yard field goal, or no, 42.
I'll be back to 42 again, yeah.
But at least we know he can do it.
Let me handle the kicking math. That's my specialty. Just kicking math, not other math.
Why does it have to just be kicking math? Can you take all the math? I bequeath the math.
I said the kicking math.
Oh, man.
Add 7 to where it's at and then add 10.
I was trying, but
it's just boom, boom, boom. Unless you can handle 17.
You know. Grella readies, and a timeout called by Coach Heckard.
Yep. Well, here's a situation for both sides. We don't know what's going. We don't know what lies before us. It's been an eventful first half. It's a 10-point game. Obviously, McDevitt should feel good about a lot of things, but so should Mechanicsburg. 10-point game. We don't know what's coming in the next 24 minutes of football. So these 3 points right now might not seem like a big deal. They could be a really big deal.
Absolutely. And as the postseason rolls on here for Mechanicsburg tonight, we'll reset the clock on the score interface here in just a moment where possible. We'll just do this. I will tell you that tomorrow we have field hockey. I will be calling the game on the campus of Exeter Township High School. The Mechanicsburg field hockey squad advancing with a win over Downingtown West a couple of days ago. They will face Villa Maria Academy, the Hurricanes coming out of District 1. So that is what is on the horizon tomorrow at Exeter Township. That game starts at, I believe, 2 o'clock. I guess I should check that since I'm on the call. I want to make sure I'm there early. Grella, snap, hold, kick is up. Plenty of leg. Dave, they didn't even need that previous play. That thing was good from 42 and then some.
That's what I said. I think I'd have let him try it out there based on that first kick, no matter where they ended up. Once they were on at the 40-yard line, I'd let him try that from 55 yards probably. So
Grella boots it through. He has a pair of 42-yarders tonight, and the Crusaders head to the locker room leading the Cats 20-7. Coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with our friends at Operation Wildcat to learn more about Project Bikes. Again, halftime at Bishop McDevitt. It's the Crusaders 20, Mechanicsburg 7. Back in a bit, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
For over 68 years, the Wilbur name has been impacting the Mechanicsburg community. I'm Jeff Wilbur, owner of Wilbur Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We are a family-run business in the Mechanicsburg area.
Wilbur Plumbing and Heating and Air provides services within the home. We do HVAC, indoor air quality, water treatment, plumbing fixture replacement of all kinds. Pretty much life improvement things that we can focus on within the home.
When you call us, you're going to get a live voice, not a recording, and we will be here for you no matter what time you call. I'm Jeff Wilbur.
And I'm Josh Wilbur.
And you can count on our company.
Because you can count on us.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub surface and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision, that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at bobbyrayhall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. It was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Halftime continues live on Go Mechanicsburg. We'll get you back to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in just a few moments for the second half of tonight's playoff game between the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders and your Mechanicsburg Wildcats. But as we roll through the season, and now here we are in week 12, it gives us another opportunity to connect with our friends at Operation Wildcat. And today we are talking Project Bikes. I welcome Aaron Arva to the broadcast. Aaron is the project chair. Aaron, how are you this evening?
I am great. How are you?
Doing all right, thank you. So Project Bikes, it's one of many great projects with Operation Wildcat. Tell us about it. What are or what is Project Bikes?
Sure. So basically, we collect throughout the year. We collect bikes from members of the community who no longer need them. We have a wonderful gentleman named Ian who does the repairs as needed. So every bike is checked, repaired, cleaned, and then we get them to families in the district who might need them. Whether it could be sometimes it might be one child, it might be several kids in a family, sometimes even adults, especially if they might not have transportation.
So in today's age of bicycles, there are now these e-bikes. Are those bikes that you would consider as well? I mean, I can't imagine people are getting rid of them yet, but if somebody would like to donate an e-bike, are those taken as well?
That is actually a great question. We have not had to deal with that yet, but that's a great question. That's a great question.
Kind of maybe one of those things that as it comes up, you'll review and see if that's something you can do.
Exactly. And I think I'll actually make a note to check into that because that is a great question.
Okay, so something that I've learned over the course of interviewing the different project chairs is a lot of items that you guys make available to community members, or I should say district families, whether it's the adults or the kids, are, let's say, necessity items. It's clothing, it's hygiene products, it's practical items for back to school, meals. I stop and I think, sure, a bicycle is nice, but it's also kind of a luxury item. So how do you determine who gets a bike? Like, it's not something you need. It's a want, but it's not a need. So how do you go about that vetting process to decide, yeah, you do get one, adult, yes, kid, yes, adult, no, kid, yes, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so far, we have really, if somebody reaches out through the proper, channel with the proper school contact and makes the request, we have always been able to provide. So if it is simply for exercise and recreation, if it is for transportation to school or work, if a request comes in and that is approved through the proper channels with the school, we have always been able to fulfill those requests, because I think it might not be a necessity to everybody, but to certain people it is. And I think just the benefit of promoting health and exercise and being outdoors is a great thing, especially when kids want to do that. We want to encourage and honor that.
Absolutely. And it is a great, like, it's a social item, right? It brings people together. It helps you get from A
Yes.
to B. So I always try to play devil's advocate because, there could be a family that sits back and says, of all the things I could ask for, like, I don't need that. I want that, but I don't need that. So it's a good explanation. And you talked about proper channels. I assume with this, it's just like other things you would go through the school's guidance counselor. You put in that request.
Exactly. Yep.
And anonymity remains the same as it does for other projects?
Yes. Yes. Yep. It's very, very similar to the others.
Perfect. And you mentioned the gentleman that fixes the bike. What if you're somebody looking to donate and you can't get the bike to where it needs to be? Do you have someone that comes to pick up bikes?
Yeah, that would be me, actually.
Okay.
So sometimes if people, because not everybody is able to transport bikes, if they don't, depending on car size or if they don't have a bike rack. So people are certainly able to drop them off, which is wonderful, but we're also able to pick them up.
And if someone is looking to do a bike drop off, where do they need to go to do that?
So we actually have been very blessed. The Mechanicsburg Borough Council has allowed us a wonderful space at no charge in one of the borough buildings. So that is where they are stored. But generally, if somebody wants to drop off a bike, we encourage them normal hours, Saturday or Sunday, 1 to 3 at the warehouse. And then I will pick them up and transport those to our actual bike location. It just has seemed kind of that flow has seemed to work best. So yeah, so the normal Operation Wildcat warehouse drop off on off of York Street.
And obviously an item like a bicycle. I mean, I know that Operation Wildcat has an issue sometimes with people just dumping. I mean, this is an item that you don't want to just dump because your intended purpose of donating it could see it grow feet and walk away before it ever makes it into the warehouse. So very important to go during operating hours.
Correct. Yes, that absolutely.
So what draws you to this project? What compels you to get involved with Project Bikes?
For me personally?
Sure.
Yeah, so I think myself personally and our family, I have my husband and I, we have 2 students in the district, and we've always just enjoyed nature and walks and hiking and biking and just being active and outside. And so I think there's just a lot of benefits to this. And I see, even before I had, been involved, I just saw the benefits of encouraging exercise and engagement and outdoors. And so I just think for me personally, I appreciate each of the projects very much, but I think this has just kind of always had a special place in my heart for that reason.
Absolutely. And 'tis the season as well. The holidays are right around the corner, and giving the gift of a bicycle to a kid or even an adult, as you mentioned, could be a difference maker and put a big smile on somebody's face.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about Project Bikes?
No, I think you've covered it with the questions, but I mean, people are always very generous. And we always, like I said, we always have bikes coming in and bikes going out. And yeah, just we appreciate the community support for this project and all of them.
Thanks a lot, Aaron. Always great to hear what Operation Wildcat has going on. And if you would like to get involved with any of their programs, you can get details at operationwildcat.org. We're just a couple of weeks removed from their big, hugely successful yard sale. So thank you for being part of that. They have another one coming up in the spring, details on their website. Also, a reminder that if you're looking to make donations of items, you can do so at the warehouse on Saturdays and Sundays during normal operating hours. Clothing donations go to the middle school, again, during normal operating hours. Please don't dump items if it's outside of hours. You can connect through operationwildcat.org to make arrangements if those hours don't work for you. We're going to take a break, come back with the second half of tonight's game. Bishop, McDevitt, and Mechanicsburg live on Go Mechanicsburg.
ECI Construction is pleased to be the sponsor of Wildcat Athletics. Teamwork is essential to success, and ECI has been proud to team with the Mechanicsburg School District for many of its facility upgrades, additions, and improvements. ECI also specializes in smaller private projects. If your business, church, or commercial property is planning an addition or renovation of any size, call ECI today for a winning project at 717-638-3000. Learn more at eciconstruction.us. And go Wildcats.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill, call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn,
which attracted golfers.
Morning.
Who needs a warm-up?
And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Rocco Hortensio Stadium on the campus of Bishop McDevitt High School, Mike Garland and Dave Harris were hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, and the rain is falling, a steady rain now as we work our way into the second half, and it could make for a slick carpet. Both teams have been running the ball throughout, a couple of pass plays on both sides, but Mechanicsburg certainly in a position now trailing 20-7 where we may have to see something from them that we haven't seen all year, and that is more of an air attack.
Well, it didn't result in points, but obviously the big pass play being the one from Drake Dawson to Noah Apple, and so you're still going to need to run the ball. Now, granted, at some point, Coach Eckert-Bright needs to move away from the game plan as the score is 2 scores, and if you come out, you kick off, you get a stop, it's still 2 scores. You can maybe stick with what you want to do, shorten the game, control ball, but you got to get points then, right? As soon as more points are given up to McDevitt, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown next, Mechanicsburg, you got to your point, Mike, start to move away from what you wanted to do because you're here to win, right? I know there's prettier losses on the scoreboard and there's uglier losses on the scoreboard, but you came to win, and you got to give your kids a chance to win, at least for a period of time. And so you're going to have to throw the ball a little bit, whether that's Drake throwing to Noah and Jack, or Noah throwing to Drake and Jack and JJ, and all of those different things. But obviously we're best not just slinging it around the yard when the defense knows it's coming. We're best when we can do some things that are a little bit less predictable. And catch off guard, and that it comes out with get a stop, get the ball, and go with balance for a while.
I wouldn't be surprised to see something a little tricky on the kickoff here to start the second half. You need to do anything possible to flip the script. You go back to that Lower Dauphin loss in Week 4, and we know how important just the difference of one possession could be. So as the Cats will be kicking to start the second half, keep an eye out for something like that. Also keep in mind that we've seen a variety of plays this year, some which could be deemed standard to high school football, others some trick plays, and with 24 minutes left in what could be the 2025 season, expect the Wildcats to empty the cupboard as well.
Certainly you have that. Back to kickoffs, we've only kicked off once tonight, and they intended to keep it short, and they did, but it did result in a good return in a very short field, which led to a 40-yard touchdown drive. So, you don't want that, right? So, but to your point, you got to give your kids every chance and every advantage, if that's even the right word, and you can't always do that by playing it close to the vest.
And that was the big guy, Jack Dawson, with the return. He is in the middle line right now. Ish Palmer is the deep man, and Tanner Minnick will line up to kick this one away as the second half is underway at Bishop McDevitt. There is that onside kick, and it's going to be fielded by the front line of Bishop McDevitt and R.J. Duffy.
Yeah, I was fielded by Duffy. It's funny because I just looked at him. I was looking for his number. I read a little bit up on him. I believe he's headed to Westchester as a swimmer, even though he's got really impressive credentials as a football player, and he is their leading tackler. So I was just thinking that we didn't talk too much about him in the first half, and lo and behold, there he is, and makes a big play for McDevitt to start the second half.
There are so many 6-foot-tall-plus young men on this roster for head coach Jeff Wechter as he inches towards career victory number 300 in his 28th year. Look, the staff from Bishop McDevitt, they sent us a prep packet, including McDevitt in the postseason, one-sided, double-spaced. That was a 6-page packet. So winning is expected here on the campus of Bishop McDevitt. First down and 10, Sebastian Williams with the pitch to his left, and Jerome LaRue Jr. And right out of the gate, the Crusaders move the chains as LaRue Jr. picks up 14.
Well, that was something, as much as we saw some big plays, we didn't see, that was kind of the student body left, little toss left, but the left tackle there, number 75, where's his name there? Yeah, Aiden Mitchtich. He got out there. He got down he actually got to the third level quickly and just made a quick waste of the person he was responsible for, and that really set up a deep running lane for the McDevitt running back.
Heavy backfield for the Crusaders. Sebastian Williams in the pistol. And Nazir Jones-Davis takes the handoff. A stiff arm in the face of Talon Verdelli. And a gain of about 25 will move the chains again as Nazir Jones-Davis goes out of bounds. First down and 10, Crusaders.
Well, what they're seeing out of him, and of course we saw him last year, Jones-Davis, but what they're seeing out of him is that left to right quick step, that ability to shift without losing speed, right? You know, most high school football players have to make a decision. Am I going to cut? If I'm going to cut, I'm going to have to slow down, right? Or do I lower my shoulder and I bull forward? He doesn't have to make that decision because he doesn't decelerate when he shifts. And that's inside. That's in tight space, in tight quarters. Really nice play there by him.
Sebastian Williams, again, the handoff to Nazir Jones-Davis, sheds Drake Dawson with ease in the backfield and surges forward for a gain of 5. And that's something that Drake Dawson isn't familiar with. I mean, he's familiar with getting into the backfield. He's not familiar this season with having a running back just push him away.
Yeah, no. There's no doubt they're running downhill a little bit here. Again, Mechanicsburg choosing with the onside kick, which really you can, if you wanted to question it, you could, except for they actually ended up in 10 yards better field position defensively than they did last time by kicking a squib. So not a bad decision. Didn't work your way, but the defense has got to show up here in the second half. And that was a long halftime. It's a long walk to the locker room here. They don't have their legs underneath them. They got to come out with some fire. They're in this thing still, but barely.
And a pass play. Williams rolling to his right. He's going to scramble and walk into the end zone from the 3-yard line in. And the Crusaders on the board again with a touchdown. 12 yards out for quarterback Sebastian Williams. And the Crusaders have blown this one open.
Well, a little too quick and a little too easy. There's no doubt about that. You get this thing up to 3 scores now, a 3-score margin. And the Cats, again, offensively have not put together a score yet. They had a drive that was headed down there in the first half that really looked like it was going to result in points, and unfortunately there was a turnover. They did get points on a blocked kick, but this ability to go down the field and find a way to get 3 scores when they haven't exactly shut down the McDevitt offense just yet all night is a tough task.
McDevitt with the false start penalty. And in the first half, they had 7 penalties for somewhere near 100 yards. Clearly, it didn't impact their offense too much.
Well, we would say that, but I think if you're on their coaching staff, you'd argue otherwise. Right? Clearly it took some momentum. It's what set them back and led to the block kick, or otherwise maybe they're up 28-0 at halftime. Right?
That extra point is no good. Hits the easy up tent behind the soccer goal. And isn't that the crazy thing about football? That's the same leg that just booted a field goal that would have been good from 50+, and this one is no good.
Well, you wonder again, was it a bad hold because of the water that's on the ground? I didn't see the snap. I didn't see the hold. Did the plant foot slip? Again, it is a game not just of inches. It's a game of precision. People don't realize that at its highest level, where you put your hands, how far you drop your hips, how you turn your hips. That makes every block, right? That makes every hold, and people don't realize that. And then you throw these elements in, and all of a sudden the wheels come off the cart sometimes.
26-7 back in just a moment.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Rocco Hortensio Stadium, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, thank you for tuning in live on Go Mechanicsburg. Wildcats trailing 26-7, 10:23 remaining In quarter number 3, Darius Crawford George, J.J. Gould standing back near their own 5-yard line to receive this kickoff off the foot of Aiden Grella. Grella runs up, booms it towards the end zone, and it will hit at the top of the U in Crusaders in that blue and gold end zone. So here comes that Mechanicsburg offense, which has looked good in spurts tonight, but it hasn't been as complete as we've seen all season long.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here, right? You know, we talk, and we've talked about other teams we played. You got to give your kids a chance to succeed, and you know, 26-7. Coach Eckerd wasn't fooling himself or anyone else. He knows he's up against a good team. He knows this is going to take everything's going to have to go right, and not everything has gone right. So you don't want to come out and give it away right away. This is an interesting formation to start with. So let's see here. Let's jump on this.
75 offensive linemen for the Cats, and Drake Dawson is bent. Oh my, Landon Yale just got folded in half. Young men are flexible, so hopefully he's okay, but his lower appendages were under some defenders as he was bent back over the pile. He's going to be tended to. They went with a heavy offensive formation. I jokingly say 75 offensive linemen, but there
were 10 up there, 10
right,
and just a direct snap. And that's what I said. He's got to pull out the stops. And he knows we can't just get in the shotgun and just start to throw it right and throw it left. That's just not the offense they've had. They don't have the timing for that, the precision for that. You've got to have a lot of reps to be able to do that at this point in the season. Doesn't mean they're not going to throw the ball, but you just can't come out. That's not their offense. But you also know you can't just stay with your conventional package because that's not doing it tonight either. So credit to them for coming out trying something different. They did pick up a couple yards. 2nd and 8. You know, you talk about one game at a time. Sometimes they got to do this one play at a time. Positive yardage, positive yardage, positive yardage. Move the sticks, keep it going, and see what they can make of it.
And talk about kids this age being made of rubber. Landon Yale, for as much as he got folded in half like a pretzel, finally popped up and trotted off the field. So good on him, as it's now 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats. I formation. Apple hits J.J. Gould on the slant. Gould cutting back to the left, and he is walloped from behind. Tackle made by Patrick Wright, much to the dismay of the McDevitt coaches to our right.
So great play call. I love that. I've always loved that play. Fake the toss, sweep to one side, usually to the right with the right-hand quarterback. Step, pivot, and hit the look in on the backside. Gould with some nice hands comes up with that. I liked how he cut back against Green. I got a little nervous that ball was going to get punched out from behind when the pressure was coming, but he held on to it. So here we go, 1st down, and that's how it is. Play at a time, series at a time.
Ryan Foose goes in motion. Reese Miller takes the handoff, working off a block in the middle of the field, spins into the center circle, and the McD logo, and the chains are going to move again, back-to-back 1st down.
Well, this is what's so great about this sport, right? These guys have every reason right now, right? It's raining, it's cold, they're down by 19. Nothing went their way to start this half. You know what? Guess what, guys? It's been a great year. Let's play out the string. Let's get on the bus and go home. Nope. Here we go. We're going to come out with a little trickery. Didn't get them much. We're going to come back. We're going to throw the ball. We're going to come back. We're going to run the ball. Here we go. So let's hope this turns into something and see if we can make something of the night.
1st down and 10 for the Cats from their own 47-yard line. Miller again hit near the line of scrimmage. Initial contact for Teron Dennis. Wildcat fans, I want to remind you that our leading all-time rusher, Dan Lewis, he's still a proud member of Wildcat Nation, serving his hometown with Central Pennsylvania's all-time best roofing vendor, Bachman's Roofing. With winter on our doorstep, it's prime time to get your roof checked and keep your family warm, protected, and secure. No more timeouts, Mechanicsburg. As the official calls a timeout, call Dan today at 717-433-2478. That's 717-433-2478. And you can tackle your roofing questions together and score a great deal with Dan. I was thinking, the irony if I was about to say no more timeouts, and then there was a timeout.
Well, they're writing stuff down. I saw a couple of officials, and they're looking up at the scoreboard. I don't know what they felt they didn't notate on a 1st down and a 2-yard run. I didn't see any warnings. I didn't see any penalty flags. But nonetheless, that's where we're at.
Wildcat formation. Dawson in the shotgun. J.J. Gould will go in motion. Dawson stepping up in the pocket, holds on to the football, and he is brought down by R.J. Duffy after a gain of 3.
Well, that's a nice thing about having him in there. He did a nice job. He had nice presence for a kid who doesn't play quarterback and hasn't played varsity quarterback for us with really for any regularity. Maybe a little bit as a sophomore in some scrimmages, I recall right. But nonetheless, has not. he had some presence, but that's also what he gives you. Tuck the ball, get upfield. He picked up a couple more yards. You got to manage. You're going to play 4 downs now, right? It's 4 down territory. So you got 2 more cracks to get your 5 yards, 6 yards here.
Noah Apple will go under center. Colin Stair, the fullback. Reese Miller met near the line of scrimmage, and he is pushed backwards by Shahid Clement. It's actually Drake Dawson in the backfield that Miller was trying to follow, but this front line of Bishop McDevitt is busting through at a rapid-fire pace.
Well, he picked up yardage. The difference is they're tackling a little bit high, and they're getting away with it, right? It's different. And you know, they got Reese up high, but he was not able to break through that a little bit more. He came in nice and hard. The difference is they close it very quickly. I don't believe the Mechanicsburg line has been a sieve tonight. I think they're getting that first chip, that first block, that first contact, just not able to sustain, not able to root out, not able to dig it out and create a big running lane.
Fusco's in motion. The option pitch is on the carpet. It's a turnover. The ball loose. Noah Apple dives into the pile, and the Crusaders pick it up. Going the other way is Patrick Wright. It's going to be a scoop and score for the senior DB on the errant option pitch.
Well, the turnover doesn't hurt you because you're turning over on downs, right? The scoop and score hurt you. And it's difficult to go with an option. We haven't run a regular option. We're not an option team. That pitch didn't even get there. No, it did not look comfortable. Again, not a criticism. It's 26-7. It's halfway through the third quarter. You're trying to make something happen. You're trying to pick up a first down. You're trying to show them something they haven't seen. And unfortunately, the exchange did not connect, and here we are.
And that ball was on the carpet for what seemed like forever. Noah Apple tried to dive in there, and ultimately Patrick Wright was able to pick it up and take it to the house. Now, Bishop McDevitt with a formation issue. I saw Zach Brown make his way to the sideline being tended to by one of the athletic trainers, so perhaps he is the missing man in this extra point PAT lineup for head coach Jeff Wechter. Regardless, the Crusaders have things situated, and the extra point is forthcoming. Tyler Reinhart, the holder. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. And it is good. 7:06 remaining in quarter number 3. It's Bishop McDevitt 33, Mechanicsburg 7. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market, and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium, Mike Garland, Dave Harrison, Wildcat fans, that QR code on your screen is your opportunity to putt your way through the halls of Mechanicsburg Middle School and support wrestling boosters and the young men and women who compete on the mat each winter. $60 per foursome. A couple of flight times remain throughout the day. Each flight eligible for prizes. Pick your team captain, scan that QR code, or email masdwrestlingboosters@gmail.com to learn more. Don't delay. Registration closes today. The kickoff forthcoming for Aiden Grella. It is high, end over end. J.J. Gould will field near the 5, and Gould is met at about the 11-yard line. Jack Dawson, Campbell, Middich with the stop, and Mechanicsburg will have this possession coming out of the shadows of their own end zone on a rainy, dreary night in Harrisburg.
Year for Mechanicsburg, certainly for the coaching staff, but also for the players to look within themselves, right? You know, a lot of good things have happened tonight. They put themselves in a situation where again, certainly we don't match up perfectly. That's not a surprise to anyone, and that'll probably be the case next week for whomever plays McDevitt, just as it would have been 2 weeks ago with whoever played McDevitt. But the point is, they did some good things, and they were in a position to come out here, I think, feeling pretty good about themselves regardless of the outcome. They still should feel pretty good about themselves, but you got to look within yourself with a quarter and a half to go and say, can we, let's go. Can we make this respectable?
A screen, Drake Dawson hauls it in. He makes it to the 15 as a helmet comes off of Tyler Reinhardt, and he's going to be flagged for it. So the Cats are going to move the chains with that catch and subsequent penalty.
Yeah, obviously we know we've run screens well. It's the first time we've seen a screen tonight, but they were ready for it. I mean, clearly it was set up well, in terms of how our offensive line held it, and Noah executed it well. But they had two guys waiting on the screen.
So the call from referee Ted Thompson is unsportsmanlike conduct against Bishop McDevitt. That's a dead ball foul as well. So the chains will move 15 from the spot of tackle. It'll bring up first down and 10 for the Wildcats. They'll have the ball somewhere near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I haven't paid too much attention to the details of the penalties. Clearly it's been a little heavier one side than the other. It has not been a factor in the outcome of the game. But obviously as the season goes on, each game will get bigger, and we're getting close to a point where we can pretty much see who's going to move on. And I'm sure the McDevitt coaching staff will want to work hard on some of these things in practice this week, provided that's how things play out tonight, and clean some of this stuff up.
McDevitt, 9 penalties for 100 yards. Mechanicsburg, 6 for 45. It's first down and 10 for the Wildcats. The play clock sits at 40 seconds, so perhaps they're having play clock issues as referee Ted Thompson was looking at his watch. Now signals for play to resume, and the portable play clocks positioned in the end zone begin to wind. Apple takes the snap, little stutter step, sprints to the right, tries to turn the corner, and he is escorted out of bounds on the far sideline. In on the stop for the Crusaders, Jamison Crummell.
You forget what an athlete Noah is, Noah Apple is. You just forget it. You don't have to look any further than he hasn't played receiver all year, right? And he goes out there and makes that great catch. You see his speed there. He got beat up a little bit on that option. I'm sure emotionally, but physically. I saw him holding his arm in the end zone down here when they were lined up for the PAT. He comes right out, he tucks it, and takes off for 15 yards. So just a great athlete, great kid, great character. And, Cats are coming back. They were in the shadow of the end zone. Obviously the penalty helps, but then they go pick up a first down. Let's see if we can get this thing rolling again.
Drake Dawson takes the direct snap, 3-step drop. Dawson firing it down the far side, intended for Noah Apple. The pass is incomplete, broken up near the 20-yard line. And on the coverage one more time, that same young man, Jamison Crummell, with his gold Guardian cap.
Well, I think the ball probably slipped a little bit out of Drake's hands. He wasn't able to throw it as deep or as tight as spiral as he wanted to. It kind of fluttered and floated on him, so it ended up being a jump ball, allowing a second defender to get there, and it was a jump ball between three players. And Noah did get his hands on it, but they made a nice job ripping down through. And that's again, good technique by the McDevitt defensive back, because so often everyone's so worried about being in a position, but it's what you do with your hands once you're in that position, and he did rip that ball out.
Apple takes the snap, quick hitter to J.J. Gould. Gould remains on his feet, tries to turn the corner, and he is gobbled up by Zach Brown. Zach Brown kept his toes in the carpet and put J.J. Gould's toes in the air.
I think I know where you're probably going with that.
I went there.
Yeah.
Wasn't great.
No.
But it happened.
Yeah. So we got a big third down here. Again, it's about moving the sticks at this point and trying to get points on the board. Might be 4-down territory. You can argue it should be no matter what, but a 4th and 15 is not a great situation from your own 32. But let's see what they can do on third and pick up a chunk of this and set themselves up for a reasonable.
Flag in the backfield. That pass intended for Noah Apple is incomplete. And we'll wait for the call.
He's going to call a legal motion. I think Noah might have turned up field a hair early or something else happened. They're going to decline it probably and leave it at 4th down.
Motion is the call against the Cats. The penalty is declined. And I look on the Bishop McDevitt sideline, and freshman backup quarterback Cale Fight has been warming up, taking snaps, throwing balls. So we might see a change at quarterback here in the near future. If not on this possession, then certainly before the game is over. And if the game continues to play out like it is, I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Heckert get some of these seniors on the field competing in what will be their last game.
Well, we got a quarter and a half, right? And again, it's not about the score at this point, but it is still about being respectable and not mailing this thing in. And so he is going to stay out there. I don't know if we're going to get a quick kick probably here, or it would appear to be the situation.
Apple boots it away. It's going to be fielded near the 34-yard line by Ish Palmer, and he can't field it cleanly. He fields it on the bounce, and he is met immediately by Ryan Foose. Also in on the tackle for the Wildcats is Colin Stair.
Well, that's the thing. This is a program, right? You talk every week about what coach's record is. What is it? 21-2? Is it 20?
Yeah, Coach Hecker's 21-2.
Okay, so he doesn't want this thing to get sloppy, get ugly, right? I mean, the score is what it is. McDevitt is what they are, and the Cats have made the mistakes they have made. But they're not going to see wholesale changes immediately. All right, you're just not going to. Now, I don't also believe that if the JVs and the threes are in at some point that he's going to be keeping the starters in. I don't think we're going to see that like we see some teams do. But there's a quarter and a half to go, and let's focus on the football that we have to play with the guys that we have.
A running play for the Crusaders, Jerome LaRue. There was contact in the backfield, but LaRue bounced off that contact and surged forward for a gain of maybe 3. Keeping the legs churning was key to one of the early touchdowns for the Crusaders and Maurice Barnes Jr., and we saw it again with Jerome LaRue.
Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't blown dead. I'm not saying it should have been. Often it is because he was wrapped up and he went down, but clearly they were close enough to it because it wasn't out in the open. It was to the near side, and there was the lead official, the white hat, as well as the side judge here, and they had a close enough view, and they did not see his knee go down, so did not blow the whistle, and thank goodness the Cats continued to play right to the end of the play.
LaRue Jr. goes in motion. Now we have a penalty flag on the carpet. Or do we? We have a play clock that needs to reset. So that's what's going to happen. Don't forget, Wildcat fans, tomorrow, 2 o'clock from the campus of Exeter Township High School, field hockey in action against Villa Maria Academy. It's the second round of the state field hockey tournament. And I will go on the air somewhere around 1:40, a coach's corner with head coach Tanya Brown. Had the chance to catch up with her yesterday and talk about the season as a whole and what she expects from tomorrow's game. So hopefully you'll tune in for that one. 2 backs in the backfield. And the handoff to Jerome LaRue Jr. He zips through the second level, and he's met near midfield. Drew Freeland, Talon Verdelli in on the tackle. The chains are going to move.
Yeah, again, this is a challenge for the coaching staff because keep your guys up, keep your heads up. We're starting to see, the hands on the hip. They're physically beat up a little bit. They are tired. They know what the scoreboard says. And again, that's the nature of sport in general, and that's the nature of this sport. You can't hide. You can't hide behind anybody. What's your character? What are you made of? Are you going to stay strong? Are you going to stand in there? Are you going to keep bringing it each play, or are you going to fold? And they're learning about themselves with each play. There's no doubt.
LaRue Jr. had went in motion. Now we have a whistle and a stoppage. A false start penalty against Bishop McDevitt, their third penalty of the quarter. Also want to throw out a happy 18th birthday to one of the cheerleaders. Her name's Chase Connors from Yvonne and Sophie. And Sophie's like, she's going to be so embarrassed. I said, she's here. She's not watching. It'll be okay. So happy 18th birthday to that young lady. Also, congratulations to the Maroon Machine Marching Band. They are here in pep band form, but last weekend at Downingtown West took home the state championship in the open Group 5 category. And took down Downingtown West. So Cats competitors go 2 of 3 against the Whippets last week. A running play, Talon Verdelli with the tackle. Dylan Taylor in on that stop as well. That was Nazir Jones-Davis with the carry.
Yeah, got to keep showing up. And, right now at this point we're still seeing a number of McDevitt's main guys in there trying to get things going, and we might see probably a little bit more into the rotation than what they were earlier. We've seen some different folks. LaRue Jr. is an example. We hadn't talked about him too much handling the ball before he had that big run, but they're also happy to take some clock, right? They're trying to stay healthy, I think, probably too. So they're not rushing to the ball. They're taking some clock, but we're going to see here if the Cats can put him in a 3rd and long situation.
Williams looking for Jonte Quick. That pass is incomplete. Wildcat fans, a reminder that Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, cheering on our hometown teams while athletes hit the field. Let your dog be the MVP at home. Call Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming today, 717-919-6266, or stop by 16 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg. Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, where every pet looks like a champion. How's your champion dog at home, Dave?
I hope being very well behaved right now because I'm not there to check on her.
Did
but
you turn the
overall,
game on for her?
I did not. I think she'll be just fine without that experience. But she's doing well. Thank you for asking. Doing very well.
3rd down and 12 for the Crusaders. Williams dropping back to pass, has all the time in the world. That pass is caught on the back, literally, of Gage Ruth.
It's going to be short.
He maintains possession to the ground. He is short of the line to gain. 4th down and 3, and we'll see if the McDevitt offense stays on the field or if Coach Wechter opts to punt it away, leading 33-7.
Well, again, in the current day and age of analytics and 4th downs, once you're in plus territory and you're inside of 5 yards, you're almost always going to line up over it. Whether you take a timeout later or not, it's a different story. I think if this is a one-possession game, I think if we're smacking them in the mouth up front, different things. I think you're going to see a standard play here at some point trying to pick up this 1st down.
Now a timeout has been called. With this timeout, we'll step out as well. 33-7, the Crusaders lead. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. It was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Marianne at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium on the campus of Bishop McDevitt High School, I am Mike Garland, joined by Dave Harris. 1 minute, 48 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Bishop McDevitt leading the Wildcats 33-7. The lone Wildcats score came on a blocked punt, scoop, and score by Drake Dawson. Otherwise, a couple of Wildcat mistakes and some dominant play by Bishop McDevitt has the Cats trailing by this 33-7 score. So following the timeout, the McDevitt offense back onto the field, looking to convert, keep that clock running, and head to quarter number 4. Single back in the backfield, that's Nazir Jones-Davis. He is sidecar left to Caleb Williams. Williams shows, passes left. Howard Holton Jr. will corral it. He came into this game with 20 catches for 272 yards and 5 touchdowns, adds at least to the yardage total as the chains move.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Anthony Francis in the open field. Unfortunately, was a step behind him and was not able to close on him and break that up. It's a nice throw. That's a nice throw. They were on the near hash to the far side of the field to the left. Strong arm there by the quarterback, Sebastian Williams. Again, from the Cats, they're probably thinking run, in a little bit more of a tighter defensive coverage, and in a perfect world, knowing that's coming, you kind of loosen up. You play maybe a little bit of a flats coverage out in the zone, zone coverage out in the flats, but they move the sticks, and here we go.
Maurice Barnes Jr. takes the handoff, bounces off right tackle, and he's gobbled up by Drew Freeland and Ryan Foose with 93 seconds remaining in quarter number 3.
Yeah, the Cats, they've played tough tonight. They really have. They've made too many mistakes, as we know, and they've been outmanned here and there, and we know that. It's easy to focus on those things and talk about those things when you're looking at the scoreboard with the game still in the third quarter. But it hasn't been lack of effort. It hasn't been quit. I think they know what they're up against, and they're doing their best to bring what they can.
Maurice Barnes Jr. into the second level and into the end zone. Touchdown, Bishop McDevitt from 27 yards out. The senior running back goes the distance, breaking a couple of tackles along the way, celebrated by teammates near the goal line, and extra point pending. It's now 39-7 Crusaders.
Yeah, he's one, again, because of injuries, did not handle the ball too much this year. He had 2,300 career rushing yards before tonight. And so I think as you kind of looked at that, you weren't sure what you're going to get from him. But as they head into this second season, remember, keep in mind, this is their first playoff game, right? We're in week 2 of playoffs for us, but they had a bye. So as they're getting into this second season, they know they're going to need a 1-2 punch in that backfield to go along with Nazir Jones-Davis. He's back in terms of Barnes, and they have that now.
Grella's extra point is up, and it is good. 1:05 remaining in quarter number 3. The Crusaders up 40-7 on the Wildcats. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg. The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Rocco Hortensio Stadium, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, we're hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Tonight's web stream presented by our friends at 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. You might see some shine on the track around Rocco Hortensio Stadium and field. It has been raining since probably the mid part of quarter number 2, and the rain beginning to intensify a bit, but it hasn't slowed the Bishop McDevitt offense one lick, leading 40-7, and the Wildcat offense still looking for answers to the questions that have been asked tonight. So Grella's kick, high end over end. And again, J.J. Gould will watch it go into and through the end zone. So first down and 10 for the Cats as the offense trots back out onto the field. This third quarter feels like it has taken an eternity.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They came right out and, took that ball and got a score pretty quickly, as we said, and then, of course, the turnover for a score, so it's just been a tough road. If you're Coach Hecker, you came out, things weren't great in the first quarter, but you managed to hang around a little bit. Obviously, McDevitt penalties kept you in things a little bit. Second quarter, you get the kick block, and you get to take that in, and you're sitting there 17-7. You hold to a field goal 27. You're like, okay, we can make something of this. And again, you're building something. We don't know where Coach Hecker's going to have this program in 2, 3, 5 years, 10 years even. He's going to have some really great memories to look back on his first 2 teams as the Wildcat head coach, 2 district qualifying teams, 2 teams that had success in the playoffs, both teams winning games before running into this juggernaut here that they run into. And, who knows down the road what we're going to see. And while we haven't been able to kind of crack this code just yet, and it'll start to look more and more like it, tonight's not going to be that night either. It doesn't mean we won't at some point down the road, and I wouldn't count Coach Eckert out.
That first down pass was incomplete, tipped at the line of scrimmage, so the Cats will run on second down and 10 and go nowhere. Reese Miller with the carry. Tackle made for the Crusaders by R.J. Duffy, and there are certainly many fans here wearing blue and gold who have chalked this one up to a win. In fact, on the sideline, one of the support staff members taking apart the kicking net and putting it away already.
Well, obviously, as it gets slick out there, and we did see his 2 kicks ago, the ball, he missed an extra point, right? Maybe we're not going to kick again. Maybe we're not going to score again. Maybe that's what they're thinking. But that being said, they're probably going to, we're going to see maybe a quicker fourth quarter than we saw here in the third quarter.
Still 15 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Drake Dawson to take the Wildcat direct snap. In trouble, under pressure, and sacked. Drake Dawson brought down by Chris Thompson, who does a little shimmy, kind of looked like Chunk doing the truffle shuffle there, and that is how the third quarter will end. Cats trail by 33. Back for the final 12 after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
At Bobby Rahal, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Rahal simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Rahal difference and find out more at bobbyrahal.com.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
We start the fourth quarter at Rocco Hortensio Stadium. Mike Garland, Dave Harris, and you. And Wildcat fans, we want to thank our friends at the Wildcat Foundation for their continued support. And they also want you to know that they support teachers and coaches in our district with CPR reimbursement. The foundation issues reimbursement checks on a yearly basis to teachers and coaches who take part in CPR first aid training, certification, and recertification. The funds are distributed back into the district to align with their foundation's mission to strengthen educational, cultural, and wellness plus athletic programs. Learn more at wildcatfoundation.org. That pass was incomplete.
That was a fourth down play there, so that's going to be a turnover on downs. And I respect where Coach Heckert's coming from. He's saying, "Hey, look, let's try to convert it." They throw a look, let's go from our quarterback to one of our best players. We're going to try and put it in Drake's hands. It was contested, well covered, and we're going to try. Why punt it away down 33, only to say, okay, now let's see if we can score from 60 or 50 or 40 yards. We're going to try and get a first down so you don't score. If we don't, we'll accept that there is a likelihood that it's going to happen.
Cale Fight has checked in at quarterback for the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders. Could he be the future of this program for head coach Jeff Wechter? He is just a freshman. Meanwhile, the starter, Sebastian Williams, was a junior. So Fight standing at the 22-yard line. Couple of twos in the backfield as well. And that handoff, I believe, goes to Chris Boyer.
Well, yeah, it looks like we've got a wholesale change pretty much to the second offense, at least is what it appears to me. I haven't gone down number for number, but it does look that way. Again, respect the gamesmanship there out of McDevitt at this point heading into the fourth quarter. I think also that's also respect back to Coach Eckert in the sense of, hey, we get what you're trying to do, trying to get that first down. We're not, the scoreboard is what the scoreboard is. We've done what we've wanted to do. We did what we came to do, but there's sportsmanship in this, and we're going to substitute in here, and whatever happens here now.
Well, and how many times did we talk last year? You can't keep these younger players down. They deserve every right to get out and play and do the best they can. They put in the practice. The handoff from Fight is given.
Well, I think what we've talked about is teams in our situation who are down 33 leaving their starters in the entirety of the game to try to chip away at the score, make it look a little better by scoring against the twos and the threes, right? I don't know that we should be pulling our starters out immediately, but I also don't believe we should be leaving them in for the next 10 minutes and 59 seconds if the other team has said, we respectfully, we're at where we're at. If you want us to keep our foot on the throttle, we can, but we're taking it off. And you can match us somewhere along the way where it makes sense.
Fight in the shotgun. It's first and goal from the 5. 7 seconds on the play clock. McDevitt gobbling up some of that game clock as well. Fight hands it off to Shaheed Clement, and Clement loses a yard or two on the play. Drake Dawson with the tackle.
A major hold on the inside of Mechanicsburg. He kind of throws his hands up. Okay, I'm getting held, and not going to get that call in that situation at this point in this game for sure, and not on the interior line. But, Cats generally had good surge there, a good defense there. And it does look like we've got a mix out there, still more heavily in the ones from the numbers that I can see, but I can't see all of the numbers.
Second down and goal for the Crusaders. Game clock continues to wind, play clock to 8 seconds. Fight takes the shotgun snap. The handoff one more time to Shaheed Clement. And Clement down at about the 2-yard line. So the Wildcats continue to fight and battle. And a nice job in the middle. Colin Stair, also Jimmy Dwyer in the vicinity.
Well, I think that's what Coach Heckert's doing. He's probably going to get these guys out of here next time out, but he's trying to at least see if we can keep them off the board one more time, see if we can get the ball back. and then make that change, I'm sure, at some point before too long. But I'm sure he'd like really hard to keep him out right here and right now.
Fight takes the shotgun snap, the handoff one more time to Shahid Clement, and Clement is into the end zone, much to the joy and jubilation of the McDevitt coaches in the press box with us, and to those wearing blue and gold, as the Wildcats are now 1 point away from being down by 40.
Well, that's the young man who went through some difficult circumstances this week. Whether he was going to get that chance or not previously, I can't say. I don't know. But I don't doubt that it's that much more special to so many people right now.
And that, in part, that jubilation, we've got a couple of microphones around. We don't know what kind of outside noise it picks up, but the pop from the crowd when he took it into the end zone, and he was the ball carrier on a couple of possessions. So many people here wanted that for him and for his family, and they were able to deliver. Aiden Grella to attempt the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is into the Harrisburg Knight. 9:12 remaining in the ball game. The Cats down 47-7 live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back in a very crowded Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, as the rain has pushed some of the dignitaries indoors here at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Mike Garland, Dave Harris, Ben Shad on camera. Austin Bitts managing the score interface. And with 9:12 remaining in the ball game, it's 47-7 Bishop McDevitt. Grella to kick off. He spots the ball and gets ready to play. Back deep for the Cats, Darius Crawford-George. Also J.J. Gould.
Again, at some point here we will see some substitutions. You're not going to probably see them on special teams a whole lot. But I don't know at what point we'll see them. I'm sure on one hand, Coach Ecker would like to see his kids go out with a little bit of an upswing, and yet on the other hand,
J.J. Gould receives that one, met almost immediately by Ish Palmer. Talk about speed to be able to get down the field that quick. That was a high end-over-end kick off the foot of Aiden Grella. I know they don't necessarily score hang time on kickoffs, but that ball was up there enough for Ish Palmer to basically be there when Gould caught it.
Yeah, he's a decent kicker. We've got some names here of kids going different places. I didn't notice that the kicker was going anywhere, but I'll be surprised if he's not kicking somewhere next fall. Maybe it won't be at Division I, maybe it'll be Division II, but he's got a future as a kicker. I got to believe that for sure.
So Noah Apple, Reese Miller, Drake Dawson will be the core of the backfield. They remain intact for the Cats as the clock will wind and the Cats are down 40. Dawson goes in motion.
9 minutes to go.
Reese Miller takes that pitch, tripped up just past the 21-yard line. And a tackle made by Carlos Smith. And on the near side, a downed Wildcat. That is Vince Woolery. Vince slow to get up, but he is walking off the field under some semblance of his own power. And you look at this Wildcat offensive line, Vince Woolery, a junior, Chris Bruno, a sophomore. So you've got two young men who next year can be anchors for this line.
Well, we've it's at that point in the game where we're probably seeing some guys last place. It's not long here, and I know Coach is going to pull some guys out, but we've seen some linemen here for 3 straight years, and they've been the heart and soul of the team for 3 straight years. We knew we could show up every Friday night and see Jimmy Dwyer out there and see Colin Stair out there and see Tony LaRock out there. And we talked as we picked players of the game. We've picked lots of running backs and lots of quarterbacks and lots of receivers. We've given it to the entire offensive line, but it is hard to single out individual offensive linemen. Offensive line is one of those things you don't realize what you have till you don't have it. You know when you don't have an offensive line, and you just do tend to take it for granted when you do have one. And we have had one for the last 3 years, and it's led to a lot of Wildcat victories, somewhere around 26, 27 victories or something like that the last 3 years. That's a lot of wins in 3 seasons.
Reese Miller will move the chains. First down and 10 for the Cats. A nice run by Miller. And, yeah, you think about, this year, regular season 9-1. Last year, regular season 10-0. Previous years before that, a pair of 5-5 years. So, the wins, they've added up over the last 4 seasons. And for these seniors to know that they have 25 wins to their resume, that's pretty impressive, as Reese Miller will carry across the 40, and a flag flies in late as he's taken down at the 42-yard line by David Malatestinik. Clock stops on this penalty call. Flag on the play. And the call goes against McDevitt.
Yep. Now, the Cats had picked up the first down without the penalty, which, again, I think is where Coach Heckard's trying to get to, right? The clock is moving pretty quick at this point. He's not thinking any delusion of picking up 2 or 3 or 4 scores. But let's move the sticks. Let's let our guys have a little bit of success here as they walk off the field this final time wearing the maroon and steel.
Apple under center, Stair, Dawson, heavy in the backfield. Reese Miller, the deep tailback. Miller standing at about the 48. He takes that handoff. Tries to work off a block from Thomas Burns, but coming in off of Burns' backside was Will Yost. And Yost, making the most of his playing time here in quarter number 4, picks up that tackle, second down and 8.
Well, and, these guys may be the twos, but these guys are special teamers. These guys are getting time. These guys are playing against the ones in practice every day. This is not your normal twos, and so the Cats are handling themselves well against it. But there's a case where you got to stay closer to that block, right? You're just not going to outrun them left to right too often.
Fumble on the
speed.
Fumble in the quarterback center exchange. Apple falls on it, and you have to remember too that with a team like Bishop McDevitt, some of their twos, maybe not all, but there's a lot of their twos that could start on almost any team in the Mid-Penn Keystone and be key contributors.
Well, certainly they could, and without going down their numbers and looking at their classification, you're probably not looking at seniors out there for the most part, and probably not a ton of juniors. You probably got some juniors and some sophomores, so that's the future of the team out there right now.
Apple goes back under center, third down and 8, 10 seconds on the play clock. Hands to Colin Stair. Stair bulls forward with his second carry of the night. And Colin Stair has made the transition from offensive line to fullback seamlessly. It's almost as if it would have been really cool if we could have seen this, sooner than 3 weeks ago.
Well, but you didn't need it.
Didn't need it.
You didn't need it. You needed him up front. That's what set up last year's special season, and that's what set up this year's special season. Right, and in terms of getting that Keystone Division back-to-back years, back-to-back division titles, you're certainly back to the 1980s, if not before back-to-back division titles. So that's special too. It's easy on a night like tonight to talk about what didn't happen and what maybe you hoped could happen or what you were wishing could happen. But at the end of the day, there is a lot of success in this program. And a lot of things for the guys in maroon and steel to feel good about. Just didn't happen tonight. And they've got so much to be proud of. We've got to celebrate that. We've got to talk about that. Again, unless you didn't make the playoffs, only 6 teams in the state are going to finish with a win. Only 6 teams, right? There's probably about 800 football-playing schools in Pennsylvania, maybe 900 football-playing schools in Pennsylvania. You got to be one of the 6 of 900. That's how they're the only ones finishing with a win this year. Right? Everybody else is going to go out. And some are heartbreakers because they're 8-7, and some are heartbreakers because they're 47-7. They hurt just the same, but so much good for these guys over these last couple of years, as we talked about.
Austin Mack had that interception for Bishop McDevitt. So the Crusader offense back onto the field. And fight remains the signal caller. A tackle for loss, Landon Yale, Collins Stair. come together in the backfield on Xavier McFarland. 2nd down and 13.
Well, see if we can get a stop here. I don't know what that'll lead to. I would assume some sort of kick if we can get them to fourth and long. But at the same token, I'm not sure why the clock is stopped right now. I was going to say it depends how much time is left on the clock, but it's just sitting at 3:57 right now, and that was a running play if I'm not mistaken.
It was, and now the clock will wind.
But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it wasn't.
Yeah, we are at the point of the game where it should be, unless otherwise acted upon by the official.
Well, there was no timeout, there was no injury, and there was no incomplete pass. And that's a normal clock scoring.
2nd down and 13.
Well, now they can take their time and run down another 20 seconds or so, which I think is probably what their goal is, since Coach Heckert has left some of his guys out there, right? He's mixed some in, but he's left some out there, and I'm sure McDevitt would not want to give them the ball back too much. They certainly don't want to give up a score, understandably, at this point, and especially having substituted some of their most of their ones out.
Fight handing off to McFarland one more time. Colin Stair meets him at the line of scrimmage. A nice tackle for loss from Colin. We'll look at it one more time.
Yeah, I'm wondering there. I'm seeing the home team has 2 timeouts left, so maybe there was a timeout there that I didn't pick up on or notice. Did anybody talk about it? I was lamenting that the clock had stopped, but I see there's 2, and I don't remember. Was there a timeout earlier in the half somewhere? Maybe there was.
Now 2:46 as that clock will wind. We heard the sounds of the Maroon Machine Marching Band. Thank them for coming out to serve as the soundtrack of the evening here in week number 12. Bishop McDevitt will move on, and they will play either Conestoga Valley or Exeter Township. Don't have a score on that one, but that is what is up next for Bishop McDevitt.
Yeah, I think
another running play.
I thought we heard earlier that it was roughly a 3-1 score game. Kind of, I don't know if it was 20-7 or 21-7, something.
Exeter is leading, and I believe
heard something like
I believe
that
by
earlier.
a handful.
Yeah.
So it looks like McDevitt and Exeter.
And that's you don't want to call anything an upset at this point, but Exeter is the 7 seed who played last week, beating a 2 seed who had a bye last week. If that indeed holds form the rest of the game.
So the Cats do force a 4th down with an opportunity to get the ball back. We haven't seen too many punts from McDevitt tonight. This might be the second one of the evening. We know the first one got blocked.
We do know we held them to 1, and that was when it was a game, and that made it a very interesting game at that point.
Grella boots it away, and it's going to be a short punt, which takes a McDevitt bounce, now pops in the air where it's going to be downed near about the 45-yard line by David Smith. So Smith downs it. Cats offense comes back on the field with 1:29 remaining in quarter number 4 and the 2025 season.
Yeah, and I think here it looks like we're getting some substitutions in here, at least at skill position. I believe I see.
Well, I see Grady Weaver and I see Drake Dawson.
I see Riders out here at receiver. So.
Noah Apple will be under center, giving the seniors a chance to play out their final game.
Well,
Apple handing to Grady Weaver. He is met near the line of scrimmage by Creighton Milch. And a whistle. Officials timeout as there is an injured Wildcat.
Looks like Drake Dawson got rolled up on from behind a little bit on that play.
So Dawson being tended to as the clock stops with 1:14 remaining. 47-7, the lone Wildcat score came by way of a Drake Dawson block punt, scoop, and score. And that was a whole ball game ago, and it's been all Bishop McDevitt ever since.
Yeah, it felt a little flat early, and then the Cats showed some resistance. They also moved the ball down the field before turning it over, and then they get that, and we're in a reasonably tight game at that point, and I think you're fibbing to yourself if you go, well, we were ready to overtake them with the next possession. You do wonder what could happen if we didn't turn it over and get that score. But you can't sit here and project that everything afterwards happens exactly the same way either, including the blocked punt for the score. So, but you're right. It was interesting, and then it got away from us a little bit after that.
Apple under center, handing to Grady Weaver. And Weaver picks up 5 on the play.
Well, there's a case where he's trying to get Grady some time. We did see Grady with some important carries late in the season after not seeing him run with the ball very much early in the season. We didn't see much from him tonight, so it's nice to see them giving him a chance out there. This is still a big stage. It's a team, and, if McDevitt goes on to win the state championship for the rest of your life, we don't know how good we were. We know we're not as good as them, but, we lost to the team that last year we lost to the team that won the state championship. I think we could argue we were in the top 4 or 5 teams in the state. I'm not sure that's the case this year, but we'll see what McDevitt does the rest of the way, and that'll tell us a little bit about where we stand.
A running play one more time by the Cats and Grady Weaver. And, Dave, that might be the final play of the 2025 season as the Wildcats start to walk out to the midfield stripe to shake hands with each other, hug, embrace, celebrate what was, and congratulate the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders, who will advance to the next round of the postseason by way of a 47-7 victory over the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. We're going to take a break, come back, we'll recognize our 11 Oaks Farms player of the game and reminisce ourselves a little bit. A final, it's McDevitt 47, Mechanicsburg 7. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub surface and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pins, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming on South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. Go to mbgsd.org or download the new district app and navigate to the Athletics tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support and encourage you to support them as well.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Rocco Hortenzio Stadium, Mike Arlen, Dave Harris. We're in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, and tonight's game presented by our friends at 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. A final, Bishop McDevitt 47, Mechanicsburg 7. And you're looking at your 2025 Mechanicsburg Wildcat football team for one last time. I can only imagine the words that Coach Heckert is sharing with these young men. Certainly words of encouragement, words of pride, accomplishment, and happiness. And even though the Wildcats fell short tonight, their body of work this year and for some of these young men over the last 3 years, something to be proud of.
Yeah, these are emotional nights. That last game with your seniors, no matter whether you're 3-7 or 7-3 or it's in the playoffs, it's an emotional night. We used to take them into the weight room after that, after we got back to the school, home or away, and just try to make some sense of it. Because you build a bond you build a bond over the 15, 16 weeks of the season. You build a bond over, of course, in the weight room early in the morning or in summer workouts, and you certainly build one over 3 or 4 years that you're in a program. And that's all the players, that's all the coaches, and it's an emotional time. It hurts tonight. It hurts tonight, but I think sometimes these are a little easier to get past too. We just didn't have what they had, but we've had a great run. Two division titles, 3 playoff wins. That's a lot to be a part of, and that's exciting for them. And they've really helped recalibrate what success looks like for Mechanicsburg football.
Absolutely, and we take a look at our 11 Oaks Farm player of the game here in week number 12, and he's a guy that has made the list a couple of times this year, and that is number 18, senior Drake Dawson. He had the lone score, he had the blocked punt, he had a couple of tackles for loss, and he also had a big offensive play on that pass to Noah Apple. And it's been fun watching Drake play over the last 3 years. For sure. He
brought so much to the game, and that was one of those things. He was so good at so many things. It was hard to just let him be. Defensively, I think that was easy. You just let him be a defensive end, and I can picture him out of Carlisle to start this season. Boy, what a freak he was there. Just drops in the backfield, and the plays he's making, and he did it throughout the season, right? But then offensively, I thought he was this great tight end, which he is. And then we see him in the backfield now. And I think on another team with a different personnel, he could have been a really good quarterback. So it was just hard. We needed him to do a little bit of everything. And, that's what high school football is. You don't get to build your team out of need and go, well, let's go get this, let's go get that. You got what you got, and you got to move those pieces around from year to year and sometimes from week to week. So, Drake was just one of those jack of all trades for us.
He was a jack of all trades, and we've had so many great players and plays this year, and we can't possibly take time now to go back and showcase all of them. But it was another memorable season. I talked to Coach Heckard yesterday, and the young men walked off the field as the sun set, and so many of them, I'm sure, thought, this is just the sunset on a Thursday of Week 12. We'll do it next week. But little did any of them really think that sun was setting on the final practice of their high school career. You played high school sports. I played high school sports. There are just certain things in life that stick with you regardless of age, and some of these young men will go on to play at the next level. Some will never play football again, but these Friday night lights over the course of 3-4 years in high school, all the reps and the downs in youth ball and middle school ball, those moments stick with you.
Well, I think most of the guys who go on and play at the next level will tell these guys it's not the same. It's not the same. There's some fun things about it, but it's not the same. Cherish these moments. Cherish these. That's why I hate to see us go back to 10-game seasons because of playoffs. I get it. I understand why we do it. But you only get so many of these. It's the fewest number of competitions you have, really, of any high school athletics teams, and when you can play 11 or 12 and play till Thanksgiving, it's special because even when you go to that next level, you talk to the kids who get to do that, and we want to celebrate that. I want to be their biggest fan when they get there, but it's different. There's something special about what's happening out there on that field, even in a moment of sadness.
And it is a moment of sadness, but at the same time, the Wildcats staying on the field, enjoying and embracing. Look, Bishop McDevitt has already walked off the field. They're off to the locker room, and they're ready for next week because they get to play one more week of high school football. But for the 2025 season, it is said and done with for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. And, Dave, there's a lot of people that we can thank. We know it's about the kids and what has happened in front of us, but without administration, without athletic director Seth Pahanic, without the support staff that we have to make these broadcasts happen, we wouldn't be able to be here week in and week out. So we thank the people on the home side, but we also thank the road athletic directors and road support staff. We played 12 games this year. We went on the road 6 of those times, or I guess 5 of those times, and accommodated every step along the way.
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity. Glad to see that. It's great. I think we both enjoy hearing from the people we hear from, how much they appreciate the service that's provided, and that's not lost on us, that this is not about anything but helping our community get to see and celebrate these student athletes, as you will do again tomorrow for field hockey.
Field hockey tomorrow, 1:40 on the air from Exeter Township. Again, thanks to Athletic Director Seth Pahanic. It starts with him here with what we do. We've had a handful of camera operators this year: Austin Bitts, Ryan Hartman, Josh Brown, Ben, Shad, not only on camera but stepping in for you, Dave, when you haven't been able to make a couple of the broadcasts. Nick Bahanick, Austin Bitts on that score interface. And, of course, Dave, I have a good time with Ben. I have a good time with you. You've been there with me since 2019, 2020 season, and I love doing it week in and week out with you. And I hope we can get to do it again next year.
Yeah. You know what? If you're Coach Heckard, we're kind of the same way. The countdown starts to the next game.
August
just a long wait.
August will be here before you know it. But if you're a Wildcat sports fan, I encourage you to tune in tomorrow afternoon, I should say, for field hockey at Exeter Township versus the Villa Maria. So for one last time during this football season, for Dave Harris, I am Mike Garland. Thank you for tuning in, Wildcat fans. The final, Bishop McDevitt wins and moves on 47-7 against the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Have a good night.
This has been a presentation of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. Wildcat Athletics live on YouTube is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, Your Neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, Your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Additional thanks to the Mechanicsburg Area School District and to all the friends, family, and community members who tune in to watch the games. The Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on Go Mechanicsburg Live and on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. We'll see you again